I'm here with Coach Squatty before the Sharks take on the
12
Matanzas
months ago,
Pirates
two
here on a
teams
gorgeous
with new
Friday
head
night
coaches
in
met
Volusia
on the
County.
football
Coach,
field. On
tough
that
opening
day
of the game
was the
for you last week, but
Matanzas
you guys settled down
was
and
the
played very
Pirates of
solid three quarters
Matanzas
towards the end of the
who
game. Your
hoisted
thoughts
the
on
flag
last week
of
against
victory
Newsom
tonight.
Well,
Atlantic will try and return the favor
17
as the
plays,
Sharks
and
turn
for lack of better
Daytona
words, we
Stadium
kinda crapped
into
the
the
bed a
new
little
Shark
bit.
Tank.
But
It's a
I
Friday
got
night
settled
clash
down
of
and they
two
played,
contrasting offensive styles that have yet
they
to
met
score
the
this
challenge,
season.
and really we
The
played
pass
to
first
0-0
air raid
game to
attack
a
of the
late
Matanzas
turnover,
Pirates
and,
meets the
if we
power
can
running
correct that
wing
this week, we
tee
should be fine.
of the Atlantic
Matanzas
Sharks.
comes out very strong passing
Live from the
attack. They love to throw the
10,000-seat
ball down the
Daytona
field.
Stadium,
What are you
home of the
gonna do on
Bethune-Cookman
defense to stop
Wildcats,
that tonight?
Mainland Buccaneers,
Stop the
Seabreeze
pass.
Sandcrabs, and now the Atlantic
Big
Sharks.
question coming into this game is
MJP
the
Sports
healthier
Productions
team. Saw a couple
coverage of
of players
Atlantic
go
High
down
School
last
athletics
week
is
with
on the
injuries. John
air.
Killingsworth was out for
Hello
a
and a
while.
very
Mary
warm
Washington
welcome.
was,
My name is
down a
Michael
couple of
Trevillo.
times.
Happy
What's
to
the
have your
health and
company
status
on
of
this
those guys coming in
gorgeous
tonight?
Friday night in
Everyone's
Central
healthy.
Florida for
We're
some
down,
high school
2
football
players.
action.
Jason McIntosh, he's been out for a couple weeks. He didn't play last week.
A little bit of a wispy
And,
clouds
Christian Johnson
covering the
quarantined. Not that he's
sunshine
sick, but
here.
someone in his class is sick.
Strong
Without our
wind
starting,
down on the field, but I'm
tackle.
sure that won't
But
affect
other than that, we're pretty
Atlantic
healthy.
much as they
All right,
like
thank
to
you,
run
Coach.
the
Good luck
ball,
tonight.
All
as
right, thank
I
you.
said. Well, before the season, Atlantic did not expect to be playing its home games here at Daytona Stadium as they expected their on-campus stadium to be ready to host the best of Volusia County and beyond this fall. However, safety issues arose when the running track that encircles the field was expanded to allow enough lanes for competitive meets. This caused the football field to be off-center, and there was not enough room in the back of the end zones to have safe perimeters around the edge of the field. Volusia County District Athletic Specialist Larry Beal said, "We want to make sure we have safe perimeters around the edges. The school made the decision Daytona Stadium was an option this year. They don't want to rush it. They don't want to do it wrong. We want to make it right and move forward in a positive fashion." Now, with that out of the way, and the reason why we are here at Daytona Stadium tonight, let's talk football. The Atlantic Sharks opened their football season last Friday night with a 22-0 loss to New Smyrna Beach. It was a rough first quarter for the Sharks as Malachi Hudson took the Barracudas' first offensive snap, 50 yards for a touchdown. A short Javante Hayward touchdown run and safety later, and Atlantic found themselves down 14-0 after one quarter. After that shaky start, the Sharks' defense did not allow another offensive score for 3 quarters, doing very well to shut down NSB's power run game. The Atlantic offense, led by second-year starter John Killingsworth, struggled to move the ball early under head coach Jeremy Squatty Bell's new wing T system. That too got better as the game went on, with the Sharks putting together several long drives that ventured into the red zone only to be cut short by turnovers on downs. Atlantic turned the ball over 4 times in total with those 2 turnovers on downs, joined by 2 Killingsworth interceptions, one returned by Karen Moore for a touchdown in the third quarter. The biggest concern for Atlantic was the number of injuries the Sharks suffered in their opening game. Both John Killingsworth and Marion Washington left the game multiple times, with Washington not returning to play after taking a hit on a kick return early in the fourth quarter. In Killingsworth's absence, freshman Kawasi Kawaku spent multiple series at quarterback. I spoke to Atlantic head coach Jeremy Bell before the game to get an update on those injuries, a recap of last week's game versus NSB, and his thoughts of facing a pass-happy Matanzas team. I'm here with Coach Squatty before the Sharks take on the Matanzas Pirates here on a gorgeous Friday night in Volusia County. Coach, tough opening of the game for you last week, but you guys settled down and played a very solid 3 quarters towards the end of the game. Your thoughts on last week against New Smyrna Beach?
Well, I thought we came out the first 17 plays, and for lack of better words, we kind of crapped the bed a little bit. But our guys settled down, and they played, they met the challenge, and really we played to a 0-0 game to a late turnover, and if we can correct that this week, we should be fine.
Matanzas comes out, very strong passing attack. They love to throw the ball down the field. What are you going to do on defense to stop that tonight?
Stop the pass.
Big question coming into this game is the healthier team. Saw a couple of players go down last week with injuries. John Killingsworth was out for a while. Marion Washington was down a couple of times. What's the health and status of those guys coming in tonight?
Everyone's healthy. We're down 2 players. Jason McIntosh, he's been out for a couple weeks. He didn't play last week. And Christian Johnson's quarantined. Not that he's sick, but someone in his class is sick. We're out our starting tackle. But other than that, we're pretty healthy.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
Thanks to Coach Bell for that interview. We'll be hearing from him throughout the season. In front of me down on the field, away down on the field, as we are high atop the main grandstand here at Daytona Stadium. Stadium, as I mentioned, seats about 10,000. The coin toss is going on between Matanzas and Atlantic, so we will continue our pregame show, but just know that kickoff is right around the corner. The Matanzas Pirates are coming off of one of their best football seasons in school history. Then first-year head coach Matt Forrest led the Pirates to their highest single-season scoring total in a decade, a first playoff win in school history against New Smyrna Beach, and a tough regional battle against Mainland. However, the core of that record-setting team is now gone, with 26 seniors graduating after the 2020 season, including the school's all-time leading passer Ethan DiTilio. Now it's up to the younger talent to steady the ship and keep the Pirates pointing in the right direction. Matanzas, like Atlantic, got shut out in their Week 1 matchup with the Menendez Falcons 29-0. The Pirates had 5 turnovers, including 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles by new starting quarterback, sophomore DeQuan Evans. One positive for Matanzas is that they were without star wide receiver Noah Cundiff, who does return tonight. The senior wide receiver was listed as number 9 on the New Smyrna Beach News Journal's terrific 10 players list and has Division I college offers from Colorado State and Troy. Now it's time to tell you about some of the names you will be hearing repeatedly throughout tonight's broadcast. It's time for the Week 1 edition of Who to Listen For. For the Matanzas Pirates, keep an ear out for number 10 defensive end Luke Donor. He had 1 sack last week against Menendez. It was Matanzas' only sack of the ball game. Also, defensive back Jordan Mills led the team in tackles last year with 23, including grabbing a reception as a freshman. He is now a sophomore. He is listed at 5'11", 160. And, of course, wide receiver Noah Cundiff, the 6'2", 185-pound senior, had 61 receptions, 574 yards, and 7 receiving touchdowns and 2 kick return touchdowns in 2020. As below me, the Atlantic Sharks in their black uniforms, black pants, silver helmets, teal numbers, teal trim, charge onto the field, followed shortly by the Matanzas Pirates. Their blue helmets, white jerseys, blue pants, blue numbers with black trim, and silver numbers across the helmet, charge onto the field and head to the far sideline. And now for Atlantic's players to listen for, watch out for defensive end Noah Anderson. His 9 tackles and 1 tackle for loss led the Sharks last week against NSB. He's a 6'1", 175-pound senior. Wingback Jarius Hawkins, the 5'6", 165-pound senior, emerged as an excellent rusher on dive plays with 9 carries for 46 yards. Anna Marion Washington is the top receiving target when the Sharks do decide to throw the ball, hauling in 46 receiving yards, the 6'0", 185-pound senior. Now as we get set for kickoff for the first home game of the season for Atlantic, it's time for the MJT Sports Productions Keys to the Game, and the Atlantic kicking team is already out there, so I'll rush through these keys to the game real quick. For Atlantic, you got to create space with the offensive line. They had Atlantic was most successful at moving the ball against NSB when their speedy rushers had space to create. It will be up to the offensive line to create those holes going up against a young Matanzas defense. Defensively for Matanzas, don't forget about the pass. While Atlantic may be run-heavy on offense, quarterback John Killingsworth still has a strong arm and elusive receivers to throw to. The Pirates' secondary can't afford to get caught over-protecting the run and get beat deep. Both teams are out there. Atlantic's kicking unit is there. The receiving unit for Matanzas is there. But the referees are still all huddled at midfield. And we are not kicking off yet. So on the other side of the ball, when Atlantic's on defense, they got to have communication in the secondary. We know Matanzas would like to pass early and often, so blown coverages will often mean free points for the Pirates. Atlantic's corners and safeties will have to work together to contain Matanzas' dangerous wide receivers. And on offense for Matanzas, you got to get the ball to Noah Cundiff. After missing last week's opener with a foot injury, the D1 prospect is ready to unleash his elite speed. Finding number 8 will be the key to unlocking the Pirates' offensive potential. And that is the pregame show here from Atlantic High School. We are just about set to get underway. The referees now break a huddle at midfield. The ball is spotted at the 40-yard line. Now, Atlantic still does not have a listed kicker on their roster, and last week, it was Dennis Gaines who did the kicking. And I believe that is who is lined up at the 40-yard line getting ready to kick it away. The Sharks will kick right to left. Once again in their silver helmets, black jerseys, black pants, teal numbers, teal trim. Blue helmets, white jerseys, blue pants, blue numbers, black trim for the Matanzas Pirates. It will actually be Jonquez Jamerson to kick off for the Atlantic Sharks. He stands back at the 35-yard line, getting ready to kick it away. The Sharks are all standing in formation. He addresses the ball with the right foot. It's a line drive kick that's going to be caught at the 20-yard line, up to the 25-30, running right to the sideline 35, and down right there is Cole Hash, the wide receiver, who is one of the up men for Matanzas. Here comes the Pirates offense. No points last week at a 29-0 defeat against Menendez. They will start at their own 35-yard line, working left to right. And in terms of contrasting styles for defenses, it's hard to get more different than the run-dominant team that we saw last week in NASB and the pass-happy team that we expect to see out of Matanzas. Matanzas Pirates, they break the huddle. Now they work to the line of scrimmage. The quarterback will be Daquan Evans. He wears number 3. He'll have 2 in the backfield with him. Jordan Mills is back there. And also 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1 receiver goes in motion, right to left. That's Tate Winecroft. Winecroft gets the jet sweep, and he's blown up in the backfield all the way back at the 32-yard line. Excellent penetration by Atlantic to get back there and stop him. And it will be a loss of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 13. They tried the jet sweep to Winecroft.
About 3 on the play, 2nd and 13.
Going right to left. Now they're going to go single receiver all the way out on the hash marks wide right, 2 receivers to the left, 2 in the backfield still with Daquan Evans. Evans takes the snap. Here comes the rush. Handoff right, left side, Jordan Mills. Mills breaks the tackle, gets to the 40. A flag does fly. The tackle was made at the 40-yard line by Caesar McCoy for the Sharks, but it looks like this will be coming back. It is in the area of holding. The flag was thrown right at the offensive line.
Takes it for 8, but there's a flag on the play, so it's going to come back.
So the gain of 8 yards is negated, and Atlantic will push the Pirates back even further. So instead of 2nd and 13, it will be a 2nd and 23. Not a good start for the Matanzas offense, who have not attempted a pass yet. It was a jet sweep to Tate Winecroft for -3 yards, and then a
2nd down and 23.
8-yard scamper by Jordan Mills, but that was called back for holding. So from the 20-yard line, it is 2nd down and 23. 2 receivers right, single left. Evans rolls out, throws underneath. That pass is caught, but immediately wrestled to the ground is Brandon Vargas.
Stopped by the Sharks.
Marion Washington was Johnny on the spot to knock him down. It's a gain of, let's say, 1 yard up to the 21-yard line. So that will be 3rd down and 22.
3rd down.
3rd down and 22 for the Pirates. Looks like we're going to see a deep shot here. Evans stomps his right foot. The snap does not come off left. Only 3 down linemen for the Sharks, and it looks like Atlantic's going to take a timeout, as Jeremy Bell does not like he wants that formation. So we'll take a quick timeout on the play to tell you, if you want to get your business on the air in front of the Atlantic fans, you should contact Julian Doster at jedoster@volusia.k12.fl.us. That's J.E. Doster, D-O-S-T-E-R, at volusia.k12.fl.us. The official play-by-play internet radio partner of the Atlantic High School is MJT's Productions, and if you want to be on air with the Sharks, contact Julian Doster. So the Matanzas Pirates have just gone backwards. They're facing a 3rd down and 22 from the 21-yard line on their opening series of the game, but Atlantic did decide to call for their first timeout of the half. Not the worst call. It's still the first quarter. If Coach Bell doesn't see something he likes on the defensive side of the ball, then it's good to call the timeout, coach the team up, get them in the correct positions to do well. So the teams have trotted back out there for this 3rd and 22 from the 21-yard line. Three receivers to the left, single right, ball spotted on the right hash as the Pirates work left to right. Evans fakes the handoff, throws to the far side. That pass is caught by Bailey Russell. Russell up to the 35-30, 35-40, and he's going to be tackled at the 39-yard line, so it'll be 4th and 6. A nice pickup by Bailey Russell, the 6'3", 175-pound senior, but it is short of the line to gain. It looks like the offense is going to stay on the field for Matanzas on 4th down and 5. Got to get to the 45-yard line. Ball spotted at the 40. Evans looks to the sideline to get the play. Two receivers to the left, two to the right. Ball on the left hash. An early aggressive play from the Matanzas Pirates. Evans takes the snap, rolls to his right, looks to run. Gets a block 40, got to get to the 45. He's going to be close. He dances back to the middle of the field, 50. Now into the Sharks territory at the 45-40. And he's going to be dragged down inside the 40 at the 37-yard line. What a run for Daquan Evans as he bursts through the secondary using his speed and mobility and agility to pick up a huge first down for the Matanzas Pirates. There is a flag all the way back near the 40. Remember, the line of scrimmage was the 40, and it looks like Matanzas is going to be beat by a holding call again.
This one's coming back.
So 2 potential first down runs for Matanzas have been negated by holding penalties, and this will take it from a 4th and 5 to a 4th and 15.
Matanzas, still 4th down.
And now it looks like the Pirates will bring on their punting unit. Marion Washington is back deep to receive for the Sharks. It'll be 4th and 15 from the 30-yard line. So Matanzas picks up 2 costly penalties on that opening drive that both plays would have given them first downs. 2 holding calls kill it for the Pirates. The punt is away by Landon Grover. It's going to be high and short, bounce right at the 50, take a Matanzas roll past the 40. A flag flies. It's going to be down at the 37-yard line of Atlantic, which is coincidentally exactly where Daquan Evans got to. That would have been a first down for Matanzas on the previous play if it had not been called back for a penalty. We will check the flag. There was a penalty marker down on the kick. It doesn't look like there was a penalty because the ball is going to be spotted at the 37-yard line. So, confusion abounds, but we will eventually get the first Sharks drive.
1st and 10, ball spotted at the 37-yard line for Atlantic.
From Atlantic's 37-yard line, they're going directly into the setting sun, which is to listeners' left. The Sharks will go right to left. The wing T offense out for its 2nd trip of the season after scoring no points last week against New Smyrna Beach. The wing is strong side left, ball on the left hash mark. John Killingsworth is back there as the quarterback. He takes the snap, design run up the middle for Killingsworth. He's going to dive forward to the 39-yard line, gain of 2, and that's all the Sharks will get on first down, 2nd down, and 8.
Short gain for Atlantic, brings it about 2nd and 9. Second and 8 for the Sharks.
2nd down and 8 for Atlantic as the Matanzas band, who is quite substantial for a high school marching unit, performs down to our left. The Atlantic band is also down there. Good crowd out tonight. John Killingsworth takes the snap, rolls to the right, looks for a lane, flag flies down. He gets to the 41-yard line, so that would have been another pickup of 2, but it looks like this one is going to be coming back.
For a short gain, but there's a flag on the play. Holding is going to go against Atlantic.
And it will be holding against the Sharks, so mark them back 10 yards. So both teams cannot get out of each other's way tonight. Or get out of their own way, rather. It's their job to get in each other's way. A reminder that the Matanzas Pirates graduated 26 seniors off of last year's team that went 6-5 and won the first playoff game in Matanzas history against New Smyrna Beach. They won that game 9-7 and then they lost a shootout to Mainland in the second round, 49-28.
10 yards from the spot of the foul makes it about second down and 21.
So it'll be
Ball on the
second
25-yard
down
line for the
and
Sharks.
21 for the Sharks. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. And this is the one thing Wing T does not want to do, does not want to get behind the sticks. Second down and long. Killingsworth on the dive. Here comes Jarius Hawkins. Hawkins tries to get to the far sideline to the 30, and he's going to be dragged down right there. Cole Hash, playing both sides of the ball, made the tackle for Matanzas, but there was a swarm of white and blue jerseys in the vicinity. So 2 runs, as we expect to see from this Atlantic offense. It's all runs all the time. As they'll play this one slow on third down and 17 from the 30. This time they don't go wing T formation. They'll split 2 receivers out to the left-hand side, none to the right, ball spotted on the right hash. Killingsworth takes the snap, rolls to the right, looking downfield. He's going to toss it down the sideline. It's going to be caught at the 46-yard line, close to a first down. It is very close. It was caught by Marion Washington, and they're going to move the chains. First down by a half yard. What a pitching catch from John Killingsworth to Marion Washington.
First down.
And unlike last week where it took them almost a full half to throw a pass, Killingsworth fires a dart to Marion Washington on a late corner route, and it's a first down for the Sharks out of the 46-yard line.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Now they'll spot the ball at the 47. They gave him an extra yard. Back to the power running formation for the Sharks. Killingsworth takes the snap. Nope, it's going to be direct snap to Jamerson. Jamerson off the right-hand side looking for a push. Won't get it. We'll get 1, maybe 1.5 as the defensive line of Matanzas steps up well. First man to the ball was Bailey Russell, who made the catch for the about 15-yard gain on Matanzas' first drive. So a lot of players playing both sides of the ball for Matanzas, as with Atlantic. So John Killingsworth, if you remember last year, I spoke at length about Killingsworth putting the miles in, running all the way to the sideline to get the play from then head coach Chris Brown, then walking all the way to the huddle to relay the play. And he seems to be doing that again this year. So no play calling from the sideline. Killingsworth goes to the sideline every play. Ball spotted far hash, second down and 8 from the 49. Killingsworth takes the snap, direct run up the middle to the 50, pushing the pile to the 47-yard line. And it will bring up third down and about 6. Well,
third down.
They gave him a very generous spot. They're going to spot it at the 47. I thought they were going to stop forward progress more around midfield. So it's going to be third down and a long 4. Got to get to the 42 to move the chains for the Sharks. You got to watch for those dive runs by Jarius Hawkins. He was very successful last week. 9 carries, 46 yards. Here's third down and 4. Snap goes to Killingsworth. He's going to hand the ball off to on the dive play. Breaking a tackle, getting very close to a first down. That was Nate Davis. And they will move the chains. Again, oh, that's very close. They needed to get to the 43. They got to the 43, and it's a first down for Atlantic.
For another Atlantic Shark, first down.
So 2 clutch third down conversions in a row. The first one, a pass from Killingsworth to Marion Washington, and then a dive play to running back Nate Davis. Davis only 1 reception for 16 yards and 4 carries for 17 yards a week ago, so not as productive as he would like to be. As I mentioned, the star of the running game was really Jarius Hawkins. As the official healthcare champion of Volusia County Schools, Advent Health is committed to providing championship caliber care with 4 hospitals, 4 urgent care centers, and 6 sports medicine and rehab locations across Volusia County. AdventHealth is here to keep your student athlete off the sidelines and get them back in the game. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. Going right to left, 1st and 10 for the Sharks at the Matanzas 47-yard line. Handoff up the middle goes to Jonquez Jamerson. Jamerson going to get 1 yard before he's gang tackled by a horde of Pirates. 4:48 to go and counting in the first quarter. No score between the Atlantic Sharks and the Matanzas Pirates on a beautiful night here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Temperature in the mid-80s, a couple of wispy clouds overhead, the sun setting basically right in the Atlantic Sharks' faces as they go right to left, setting beyond the left end zone. Wind blowing hard towards our broadcast position across the field as the American flag behind the goalpost shows. Here's 2nd down and 9. Killingsworth takes the snap. Here comes the rush. He rolls to the right. Looks to throw now. Going to throw down the field, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Had a man open at the 30. And it looks like he threw it a little bit behind him. So it'll be 3rd down and 9. And that was just a bad throw by Killingsworth as I look to see who made that catch. He's coming out now. He's got his jersey pulled up all the way over his pad, so I can't see the number. Looks like that was Jamoris Rittman, the sophomore, who did not make that catch. Couple of different personnel going in and on the field for the Sharks on 3rd down and 9. They are just inside Matanzas territory at the 42-yard line. Got to get to the 33 for a 1st down. Killingsworth is in the gun for the first time this season. He's got 3 receivers spread out to the right. Here comes the blitz. Killingsworth gets the pass away, and it's incomplete over the head of the intended receiver, Marion Washington. It will be 4th down and 9 at the 42-yard line. And it looks like it will be punting time for the Sharks as that unit heads on to the field. Jonquez Jamerson kicked off, and it looks like he will be doing the punting. Nope, it looks like it'll be Marion Washington doing the punting. So sharing duties all around here as he stands at about his own 45-yard line. Standing at the 15-yard line for Matanzas is Jordan Mills, the running back. Oh, it's going to be a fake. Here goes Washington. He's got room to the 40, and he's going to be run out of bounds, close to a 1st down. The sideline wants it, but it's going to be a poor spot. It's going to spot him right at the 35-yard line. They needed the 33, and Matanzas takes over on downs. Interesting call to go with the fake punt. Washington had a lot of room to run and was barged out of bounds 2 yards short. So now Matanzas' offense gets to come back out of the field. Led by quarterback Daquan Evans. He was 3 of 10 for only 10 yards passing last week through 2 interceptions as the Pirates turned the ball over 5 times. He also fumbled the ball twice. He did have 131 yards on the ground and 1 reception for 21 yards. Evans flanked by 2 men in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Mills, and Mills is going to get about 5 up to the 40 before he is wrestled down by a gang of Sharks led by Kwasi Kawaku, the freshman who spent time at quarterback last week. Dennis Gaines was also in on the tackle. So it'll be 2nd down and 5. Matanzas has been semi-successful so far at getting people in space. Evans takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws underneath, finds Weinkoff at the 40, pushing his way towards the 45. He's going to fall forward to the 46-yard line for a 1st down for Matanzas. Excellent little rollout to the left by Evans, and Weinkoff on a curl route just sat underneath the linebacker and was wide open.
Down for Matanzas.
1st and 10 for Matanzas from the 46-yard line. They go left to right in this first
Matanzas
quarter.
1st and 10 at their own 46.
3 receivers, 2 right, single left. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Here comes Mills. Mills trying to stretch it out to the outside, break the tackle, 50, 45, 40, and he barrels over a defender and gets a first down all the way up to the Atlantic 40-yard line.
Mills on the carry.
So 3 plays, 2 first downs, and this is what the Matanzas offense loves to do. They love to go tempo. They love to get the ball out in space to their playmakers. Someone who I haven't seen yet is Noah Cundiff. I talked about him a lot in the pregame show. Well, maybe he is not 100% ready to go yet, but his teammates have been picking up the slack. It's a screen to the far side. That's Brandon Vargas. Vargas cuts back to the 30, to the 25, dragged down near the 20 by a host of Sharks. Matanzas is getting all the room they want to and more on the outside line, as Vargas, that's his second catch of the game, and he rumbles down.
Matanzas on the
Close to the
21
red
line.
zone, they're going to spot it at the 21-yard line. 2:09 to go, first quarter, clock running. Sharks trying to keep this game 0-0. But all the momentum right now is with Matanzas. Hand off to the running back, Mills. Mills right up the middle, not going to get very far. He'll get about 4 up to the 17-yard line.
Nice stop by the defense. Gained about 1.
Jovan Jackson led the Sharks on the tackle. But this is where last week the Sharks really stepped up, was inside their own red zone. Let's see if they can hold again. It's going to be a handoff right side, breaking free 20, sideline 10, inside the 5, and diving to the goal line. That's Shomarian Gaines. He's going to be 2 yards short.
Gaines carries around the corner.
That was a jet sweep to the wide receiver, Shomarian Gaines, left to right. And he got to the numbers, and then he just took off, and it'll be first down and goal for Matanzas at the 3-yard line.
Goal line defense. Let's go, Sharks!
Minute 13 to go. Snap to Evans. He's going to take it himself. Right up the middle. Touchdown, Matanzas. And it's the first points of the season for the Matanzas offenses. Daquan Evans just took that one right up the middle and pounded his way into the end zone.
Extra point pending.
And it is 6-0 Matanzas. On for the extra point is Landon Grover, 5'8", 150-pound sophomore. He is right-footed. The holder is Tate Weinkoff. Weinkoff sets it, and the kick is up, and it is good. 1 minute and 7 seconds to go in the opening quarter. The Pirates strike first. It's Matanzas 7, Sharks nothing. We will take a quick break and be right back. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Well, the Pirates strike first. Matanzas goes up 7-0 on a 7-play, 75-yard drive capped in a 3-yard rushing touchdown by quarterback Daquan Evans. And the Matanzas Pirates are on the board for the first time this season. A reminder, they got shut out last week. Time means things. Last week, 29-0 by Pedro Menendez up in St. Augustine. Landon Grover getting set to kick the ball off. He's got the ball at the 40. A pair of Sharks back at the 5-yard line to receive. And he addresses it with the right foot. Going to drive. That one is going to land at the 10-yard line. Be taken right there up to the 15, running right side 20, sideline 25, and just shy of the 25. The returner, Marion Washington, will be pushed out of bounds. And here comes the Sharks offense looking for some consistency. On that last drive, they did all right. They started at the 37. They drove into Matanzas territory. They went for it on a 4th and long. Got two after getting 2 first downs on a fake punt, and came up just 2 yards shy of the line to gain. So they'll start.
Let's go Sharks!
At the 23-yard line. Once again, working right to left. 58.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Killingsworth, the quarterback. He takes it's a direct snap to Jonquez Jamerson, and he's run down for a loss of 2. Beautiful tackle by his opposite number, Shomarian Gaines, on the safety blitz. Read that play all the way and stuffed it in the backfield.
Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12.
So it'll be 2nd and 12. You can tell that the Pirates have been very well coached in how to defend against the run, because there is not a lot of space for the Sharks to move through. And in my humble opinion, they've been best so far tonight when they've been throwing the ball. When Killingsworth has been rolled out and thrown downfield. 15 seconds to go first quarter. They don't have to snap it, but I think they will. 2nd down and 12. Killingsworth going to drop back to pass, going to have pressure in his face, going to throw the ball away. It's going to be incomplete. Bailey Russell got back there and pressured John Killingsworth as he just was forced to throw the ball away. 3 seconds to go in the first quarter, and we have a downed Shark all the way back at the 12-yard line. Looks like that might be an offensive lineman. He is being attended to by the athletic trainer. 3 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the clock stops, which means the Sharks will get one more playoff. Coach Bell is walking slowly out towards the injured player who is still down. In the heat of the action, I do not see what happened to the player, nor do I know who it is because I cannot see his number. He appears to be holding his right knee. And we will take a short break while this injury timeout occurs. You're listening to MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Welcome back to Daytona Stadium. Pirates lead the Sharks 7-0. 3 seconds to go in the first quarter. Sharks are facing a 3rd and 12 at their own 21. But more importantly, Matthias Weigand, the Sharks offensive lineman, has been helped off the field after taking a leg injury on the previous play, which was an incomplete pass. We do not know the status of Weigand. I will attempt to keep you updated. 3rd down and 12. 3 receivers spread out to the left, none to the right. Ball near the right hash. Killingsworth takes the belt high snap, rolls away from pressure, and a flag flies. And it looks like there may have been movement along either the offensive or defensive lines, and it looks like it'll be a false start. No.
Matanzas 7, Atlantic nothing.
It won't be the end of the first quarter because there was a flag down. The play did not get off, and it's going to be against Matanzas. They're marking off 5 yards, so it must have been an offsides.
Oh, there is a flag on the play.
So instead of 3rd down and 12, it'll be 3rd down and 7. Still 3 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the Sharks will get one more crack at it.
Working in on a penalty, so we're going to walk off the 5 yards against Matanzas. Let's do it again. 3rd down.
Got to get to the 33-yard line of the Sharks for a first down. Ball currently spotted at the 31-yard line. The Sharks, for this one final play in the first quarter, work left to right in the silver helmets, black jerseys, teal numbers, teal trim. 3 receivers to the left. Killingsworth takes the snap. Pressure coming. He steps up. He's going to be... Oh, he escapes the pressure. Goes to the 30. Simpson's down the sideline, 40, and steps out of bounds. It's going to be a first down for John Killingsworth. And oh, no, he's going to be 2 yards short. They're going to mark him two...
Second quarter action coming up.
They're going to mark John Killingsworth. They're going to say he stepped out 2 yards short of the 3-yard line. They're going to say he stepped out of the 31. That's a contentious decision. The clock has hit zeros of the first quarter. So it will be 4th and 2 to begin the second.
Looks like a penalty on the play is going to bring it back.
It's not a penalty, as the PA announcer said. They just said that John Killingsworth stepped out 2 yards shy of the line to gain. And we will flip the field. When we come back, it's going to be 4th and 2 for the Sharks. We'll see if they go for it. This is MJT Sports Productions' broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Second quarter action comes your way next. Second quarter action on tap here from Daytona Stadium in Daytona Beach, Florida. The Atlantic Sharks trail the Matanzas Pirates 7-0, and they're facing
like they're going for
a third. It should be 4th down, but the pylon says 3rd down and 2 at the 32-yard line. Got to get to the 34. And now the referee is signaling to the chain crew that it should be 4th down, and the Sharks do have their offense on the field. They start the second quarter going left to right in their silver helmets. Black jerseys, black pants, teal numbers, teal trim. On 4th down, can they get the 2 yards they need? And it looks like there's a flag, both sides pointing at the other side, accusing them of jumping. And the referees are going to talk it over. Matanzas, right before the flag was thrown, brought all 3 of their linebackers really aggressively towards the line, and they're going to
That's an Atlantic Shark. First down.
And they're going, and the referees are going to rule that forced the Sharks to jump, so it'll be a first down Atlantic on the penalty. Another penalty. That's the 3rd of the night for the Matanzas Pirates. So penalties affecting both squads early. 3 for Matanzas, 2 for Atlantic. As we are still yet to move the needle in the second quarter. Still 12 minutes on the second quarter clock. Sharks with a fresh set of downs. From the 37-yard line, Killingsworth snap, and the play is blown dead. Another flag. This time Matanzas defense seems to be happy, and it will be a false start. So it'll be the 3rd penalty on Atlantic on the night. Both teams have racked up 3 penalties early on in this game.
On the 32-yard line.
The clock begins to run. I'm not sure if that was intentional. 11:36 and counting, although the play didn't even get off because of the false start. In an odd twist and something I've never seen in all the years I've been coming to games at this stadium, I'll finish my point after this. First down and 15 from the 32-yard line. Ball is snapped. Killingsworth. The snap goes over his head. He chases it down, and he's going to be run down to the 21. Well, that was a bit disastrous, and Shomarian Gaines takes advantage of it and wraps up Killingsworth for a huge loss. Going to be a loss of about 11. And it's going to be second down and way long now. It's going to be second down and 25. They're going to mark the ball at the 23-yard line. Well, that was a bit disastrous for the Sharks, as the ball was snapped over Killingsworth's head. He had to go back to retrieve it, and by the time he did, Shomarian Gaines, the 5'11", 161-pound sophomore, was right in his lap and dragging him to the turf. And Killingsworth is over talking to the officials. I'm not sure what for. The clock has stopped with 10:32 to go in this second quarter. They're not going to overturn anything. There was no foul. Not sure what Killingsworth was talking to the head official about. Either way, it's second and way long. The ball is spotted at the 23-yard line. They got to get their own 23-yard line, and they got to get all the way up near midfield, the 47-yard line for a first down. Got 2 plays to get there. There's no wideouts, so Atlantic seemingly in a run formation back in the wing tee. Killingsworth going to be a design quarterback draw. Jump cut makes one man miss in the backfield. He's going to be run down past the 25 at the 27-yard line. So gets 4 yards back. So it'll be third down and very long. There's just been no space for Killingsworth to move. And the lateral defense, the lateral speed on defense from Matanzas is very good. And John Killingsworth, no, he's going to stay in the game. Couple of substitutions for the Sharks. I saw Kawasi Kawaku go in. That's why I thought Killingsworth was coming out. But Killingsworth will remain in the game. Third down and a long way to go. At the 37, got to get to the 47. Back to the 27, got to get to the 47, excuse me. A little bit of trickery in the backfield. The ball is eventually handed off up the middle. Up to the 30-yard line it goes, and that's all the Sharks get. Gang tackle by the Pirates. Luke Donor, who had the lone sack for Matanzas last week, eventually led the Matanzas defense. Couldn't quite see who carried that ball. Actually, it looked like it was Jarius Hawkins eventually ended up with it. Couple of fake handoffs in the backfield. And now Jonquest Jamerson is on to punt. He stands at his own 15-yard line. And Jordan Mills is standing at his own 35 all the way to the right-hand side of your radio dial. Last time they tried to punt, they did a fake. This time the punt goes over the punter's head, and the punt goes straight up in the air and out of bounds. They're going to mark the ball at the Atlantic 17-yard line. Unbelievable. The snap went over Jonquest Jameson's head. He eventually got the kick away, but it went straight up in the air and came right back down. So the punt, I believe, goes for about 2 yards. So Matanzas is set up in beautiful position at the 17-yard line going right to left. Last time they had the ball, a 7-play, 75-yard drive capped off on a 3-yard rushing touchdown by Daquan Evans. That was towards the end of the first half. And they are set up to put more points on the board. Evans hands the ball off to Mills, trying to stretch the play to the right, gets to the 20, gets to the 15, and dives forward down to the 14. It'll be about a 4-yard gain for Mills. He originally looked to be wrapped up for a loss of 2, but he broke away from a tackle and scampered forward. Ball officially spotted at the 14-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Got to get to the 8, maybe 8.5 for a 1st down.
Come on, let's hear it.
Evans
Sharks.
takes the snap. Design run to the left for Evans. Cuts back inside. Gets inside the 10. Down close to a 1st down. It'll depend on where they spot the ball. It was close to the 8-yard line. And it looks to be a half-yard short on the spot. So it'll be 3rd down and less than 1.
3rd and about 1.
Working quickly go the Matanzas Pirates. Evans takes the bell tie snap, throws to the sideline. That pass is caught by Tyson Mills. Mills falls forward for 1st down yardage. He's going to get to the 5, and it'll be 1st and goal.
Short gain for Matanzas gives them 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal for the Pirates from the 5, already up 7-0. And remember, this drive started at the Atlantic 17-yard line. Tyson Mills moves across the formation. Flag flies as Daquan Evans takes the snap, rolls to his right, breaks a tackle, gets to the 5, looks to punch it in the end zone, and he does. He broke about 3 tackles on the play, and a touchdown for Matanzas. There is a flag on the play. The play was allowed to continue.
By the offense, a touchdown comes off the
And the
board.
touchdown
Matanzas
will
gets
come
to be
off the
back.
board. Looks like they're going to call it chop block, as there was an Atlantic player kind of lying on the ground near the original line of scrimmage. And that's Omar Fitzot, the linebacker. So take 1st down and 5. Looks like it's only going to be a 5-yard penalty. And timeout Matanzas.
And we got a timeout on the field.
Sharks fans, football season is finally back, and you can catch the action from the gridiron on MJT Sports Productions, the official play-by-play home of your Atlantic Sharks. Be sure to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter, all at MJT Sports Productions, so you never miss a moment of the action. Let's go, Sharks. Matanzas takes a timeout. It'll be 1st and goal for them when we come back. This is MJT Sports Productions' broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. There's 6:30 to go in the 2nd quarter. From Daytona Stadium, 6:30 to go in the 2nd quarter. It'll be 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal for the Matanzas from the 10-yard line after a touchdown run by Daquan Evans was taken off the board by a chop block. Evans, high snap, gonna run up the middle. He's gonna be ankle tackled eventually at about the 7-yard line. He looked to have been stopped in the backfield. The flag flies in very late on the far side of the field. So Evans, he takes snaps. Oh, wow, it's a turnover. It looks like he fumbled the football. The Sharks have it. Atlantic is celebrating. Matanzas protesting. There was a flag thrown late, and we'll see what effect that has on the play. So a bit of a wild situation to sort out. Let's see what the ref has to say. Personal foul on Atlantic. And that is after the play. So it is a fumble, but Atlantic is going to start from in the shadow of their own goalpost at the 4-yard line after that penalty chalks off half the distance to the goal. But it is a fumble. It is the 3rd fumble of the season for Daquan Evans. He lost 2 last week against Menendez, and that takes a touchdown off the board. Because remember, Evans scored. It was called back for a chop block, and on the very next play, Evans fumbles the football. So a bit of a Nightmare 30 seconds for Daquan Evans. And it looks like Atlantic is going to take a timeout. And Atlantic will take that timeout. Advent Health is here for you and with you during every kickoff, every touchdown, and every season to support you physically, mentally, and spiritually in this game called life. Advent Health is on your team. They're your biggest fan, and they're here to help you feel whole. Advent Health is a proud supporter of Volusia County School Athletics. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. So the Sharks will start at their own 4-yard line after the timeout, after the fumble recovery stopped a very dangerous Matanzas drive that started from the Atlantic 17 after a 3-yard punt. But now with 6:19 to go in the first half, Atlantic has the ball. They're backed up to the shadow of their own end zone. Last week, they did take one of these all the way to the red zone of New Smyrna Beach before eventually getting a turnover on downs. But they're in a very tough spot because the offensive line, who again, as you remember from the pregame show interview, is missing their leader, Christian Johnson. First and 10 from the 4, going left to right. Killingsworth, the snap, looking to run straight up the middle, trying to follow his blockers, and there aren't any. It's going to be a loss of 1 back to the 3-yard line. Tackled on the play by Cole Hash for Matanzas.
Killingsworth trying to get the ball off the shadow of his own goalpost.
So now, after the loss of 1, it's 2nd and 12 from their own 3.
Brings up 2nd down and 11.
Second down and 11. And what the Sharks really don't want here is to have another empty drive because the special teams play hasn't been the best. And you don't want to set Matanzas up deep in your own territory again with time running out in the first half. 5:35 to go. 2nd down and 11. Killingsworth standing in his own end zone, showing pressure. Only a 4-man rush. He takes the snap, runs to the left, gets out of his end zone. Now pushed back into the end zone. Are they going to call that a safety? No, they're going to say forward progress to the 1-yard line. Loss of 3. It's going to be 3rd down and 14. Ball on the half-yard line.
With forward progress, they avoid the safety, so it's 3rd down.
So this is going to be a tough situation, even tougher for the Sharks, as they've just gotten no offensive line penetration right now. And there is a shaken-up Shark on the play, walking off the field holding his shoulder. Gary Thomas, the junior linebacker who had 3 tackles last week, will go in. So with 5:04 to go, the clock has stopped for an injury. Atlantic will have 3rd and 14 from their own 1-yard line. And after starting a bit decently, they had an 8-play drive into Matanzas territory on their opening possession that was eventually ended on a turnover on downs by a fake punt that was 2 yards shy of continuing the possession. The Sharks have basically got nothing since then. Killingsworth trying to get out of his shadow of his own goalpost. He will get to the 4, but that's all. Tackle made by Shomarian Gaines up from the safety spot, and it will be 3rd down and 11 from the 3. And Atlantic's going to run on their punting team. Clock runs 4 minutes and 19 seconds and counting to go first half. So now if Atlantic gets into the half, down 2 scores, I think Coach Bell will be happy because after the first series, they have gotten 1 first down. From basically the back of his own end zone, the punt gets away by Jamerson. It's going to take an Atlantic bounce out to their own 39-yard line and sit down right there.
The ball's down about the 40.
So the punt does work.
No return. Matanzas takes
So
over.
Matanzas will take over at the Atlantic 39-yard line with 3:42 to go in the first half to try and extend their lead. The Pirates lead 7-0. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Stay with us. 3:42 to go. Matanzas offense on the field, working right to left here in this first half. They lead 7-0. They'll start at the 40-yard line of Atlantic. Daquan Evans is back to pass. He shakes one man to the backfield, going to laser it down towards the end zone, and it's way over the head of his intended receiver, who was Brandon Vargas.
Pass falls incomplete. Second down.
Vargas was in an absolute wrestling match with Kentuan Royal all the way down the sideline. And it'll be second down and 10 at the 40. Clock stops, 3:33 to go. Three receivers split out to the left. Evans takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Sharks are in the backfield immediately. Evans is going to be hit and dropped for a big loss. That's going to be a loss of about 4 yards. They're going to give him a probably a better spot than I thought he deserved. But the Sharks were in the backfield immediately and gang tackling Daquan Evans as he tried to juke out of the way. Third down and 12. Oh, no, they are going to back him up a little bit more. It's going to be third down and 15. From the 45-yard line, got to get to the 15.
Down.
Third and 15. Evans fakes the handoff, going to dump it off short. Here's Shomarian Gaines trying to work off to the right-hand side. He's going to be stopped almost as quickly as he picked up the football. He only gained about 2 yards, and Atlantic, the defense has shown up here on this drive. It's going to be fourth down. Fourth down, and let's call it a long 11. And the offense is on the field. The offense is on the field for Matanzas on 4th and 11 from the 42. Three receivers out to the left, one to the right. Daquan Evans takes the snap. He's going to throw it to the near side left to the numbers, and the receiver is going to be run down for no gain for Tyson Mills, but there is a flag in the backfield, and it looks like they're going to get a late hit as Daquan Evans went down, and that might just gift Matanzas a fresh set of downs. Yep, they're going to call a late hit, personal foul against Atlantic. I'm trying to see who got back there
Gonna go against Atlantic
and hit
first down.
Daquan Evans. And that was Jonquest Jamerson, the defensive back. Jamerson came on a corner blitz and just couldn't stop himself and ran into Evans after he got rid of the football. So first and 10. That's the fourth penalty against Atlantic tonight. It'll be first and 10 for the Matanzas Pirates at the 25-yard line. Flag flies as down the right-hand sideline inside the 10, pushing his way to the 9-yard line, goes Tyson Mills on a jet sweep. I saw the flag fly.
Tyson Mills on the carry, but that's coming back.
And it's going to be coming back. It was a great run by Tyson Mills, took the jet sweep going left to right, made a cut at the 15 and got in clear air all the way to the 9, but there was a reason he was in so much clear air. As an illegal block in the back goes against Matanzas, will back the Pirates up. That's the fifth penalty on Matanzas in this first half. There's a minute 55 left to go in it, and the Sharks are lucky to only be down 7-0.
Makes it first down and 15.
First and 15 for Matanzas back at the 31-yard line.
At the 31-yard line.
Two receivers to the right, two receivers to the left. Ball spotted right hash at the 31. As the Pirates work right to left. One man comes in motion. Evans takes the snap, rolls to his right, going to throw across the middle of the field. It's tipped, and it's almost intercepted. The ball was tipped by Kawasi Kawaku, and Marion Washington tried to track down the tip drill. He couldn't quite do it, and the pass falls incomplete. And it's going to be second down and 15 from the 31 for Matanzas. Tate Weinkauf comes into the formation. He replaces Brandon Vargas. And they're going to go two in the backfield now and only three receivers. One right, two left. And Coach Bell's going to take a timeout with 1:48 remaining in the first half. That's his second timeout. We will take a timeout. Sharks trying to hold on to a 7-0 lead with 1:48 to go in the first half. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Stay with us. $1:48 to go first half. Matanzas has a second down and 15 at the 31. Daquan Evans takes the snap. Plenty of time in the pocket. Now pressure coming from the backside. He escapes only for a second, and he is knocked down to the backfield. I believe that was Jovan Jackson who got back there for the Sharks. And another sack for Atlantic, their second of the night. And it is third down and 15. No, it'll be third down and 20 after the loss of 5. Got to get to the 16-yard line. They're all the way back at the 36. 3 receivers left, single right. Evans stomps his left foot now, looks to the sideline to change the play. And Matanzas will call timeout. Their second. If you're enjoying tonight's broadcast, be sure to hit the like button on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and share the broadcast with other Sharks fans by clicking share or retweet. Thank you for supporting MJT Sports Productions and Atlantic Sharks football. Next week, it doesn't get any easier for Atlantic as they go at Flagler Palm Coast. We'll have that game live for you on the 10th. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff on MJT Sports Productions. Matanzas, continuing their 3-game road trip to start the season, will play at Deltona as the Wolves rallied to beat Mount Dora last night 34-17. Other scores from yesterday, NSB got blown out by Orlando Jones 40-0. And I'll get you some scores from around the area at halftime. A couple of good games going on around the area. Mandarin Spruce Creek, Mainland FPC, Seabreeze at Ocala Forest. Now third down and 20 after the timeout for Matanzas. 3 to the left, single right. Evans fakes the handoff, going to throw deep down the sideline, and the man running way open, and he drops the football. Cole Hash was wide open. There was a blown coverage in the Atlantic secondary. It would have been an easy touchdown, but the ball bounces off his hands, incomplete, and it's 4th down and 20. Well, the Sharks have been let off time and time again in this first half. There was the fumble in the red zone, and now a wide open touchdown pass dropped by Cole Hash. And Matanzas sends on Landon Glover to punt. He stands exactly at midfield. Glover going to get the punt away. It's low and a line drive kick. It's going to bounce towards the corner, and it's going to go out at the 2-yard line. What an amazing punt. It was just a line drive punt that skipped and skipped down the far sideline right, and it looked like it was going to roll into the end zone, but just took one little dink off the side of the football and went out. They're going to spot it at the 3-yard line. So for the second drive in a row, Atlantic is backed up in the shadow of their own end zone. They started at the 4 last time. They're starting at the 3 this time. 39.2 seconds to go in the half, so they could try not to give up a safety, but just get tackled in bounds and then head to the half, and I think that might be what Coach Bell decides to do here. From their own 3, going left to right. Killingsworth takes the snap, runs right up the middle, tries to find a lane, going to be dragged down at the 4, gain of 1, falls forward to the 5, gain of 2. Nice, a little bit of a generous spot by the referees. So it'll be 2nd down and 8. 25 seconds left to go in the half. They don't have to snap it again. And Coach Bell is signaling to his team with his hand outstretched. I don't think they will snap it. 15.4 seconds to go. The clock has stopped. Nope, the clock did not stop. Momentary glitch on the scoreboard. The clock hits double zeros. We go to the half. The Matanzas Pirates score their first touchdown of the season, and they lead it 7-0 over the Atlantic Sharks at the break. We'll be right back with some halftime stats and notes and scores from around the county. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Stay with us. Live from Daytona Stadium here in Daytona Beach, Florida, it's the Matanzas Pirates 7, the Atlantic Sharks nothing. We are at halftime of this Week 2 matchup in Volusia, Flagler County High School sports. My name is Michael Trillo. Thank you for joining me on a beautiful Friday night here. The sun has gone down. The lights are on here at the stadium. It's a gorgeous evening for some high school football. The Sharks struggled for offense. They drove down inside the Matanzas side of the field one time. That was on their opening drive of the ball game. On an 8-yard drive, got all the way inside the 40 of Matanzas. Tried to do a fake punt on 4th and long and came up 2 yards short of a first down, and that was the best the Atlantic offense has done. Other than that, it's been 2 punts and an end to the half, including a punt that went for 3 yards that would have certainly yielded points for the Pirates if not for a called back touchdown because of a penalty, and then a fumble on the very next play salvaged something for the Atlantic defense, who has played very well given the fact that their offense has not given them great field position to work with. The one touchdown for Matanzas was on their best drive of the game, a 7-play, 75-yard drive capped off by a 3-yard touchdown run by Daquan Evans. And that gives the Pirates their 7-0 lead. Here are some scores from around Volusia and Flagler County. St. Augustine all over Menendez, 31-0. That game is at halftime. Flagler Palm Coast is shockingly up 17-7 against Mainland. Remember, the Bulldogs play the Sharks next week up at Flagler Palm Coast as Atlantic goes back-to-back weeks against Flagler Public Schools. Mandarin leads Spruce Creek 8-3 early in the second quarter. Lopez and Pine Ridge still no score there in the first quarter. And Seabreeze is all over Ocala Forest 43-0 that game late in the second quarter. And a reminder here, it is 7-0 Matanzas Pirates over the Atlantic Sharks. There's 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go on the halftime clock. We'll be back right before that clock is up for the second half, where the Sharks will try to get back in the game offensively and keep the Pirates off the board. It will be Atlantic ball to start the second half, and we'll give you that half when we come back. This is MJT Sports Productions' broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Welcome back to Daytona Stadium here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Volusia County High School football second half of action on tap for you here tonight on a beautiful Friday night just into September here in 2021. The Atlantic Sharks and the Matanzas Pirates in a close one here. The Pirates lead 7-0. And Atlantic has lost the field position battle. They've started on their own 3, their own 4, their own 20, and their own 37. But those were in reverse order of drives. So they actually, their first drive of the game started on their 37, then 20, then 4, then 3. So, and with an offense that's not really moving the ball very effectively, getting down inside deep inside your own half like that is never a good thing. They gave up a safety last week to New Smyrna Beach, almost gave one up in the first half, but they were able to work out of it and caught a little bit of luck. A fumble by Matanzas inside the 10, and a dropped touchdown pass by Cole Hash means the score is still just 7-0 with that 3-yard touchdown run by Daquan Evans on the second Matanzas drive of the ball game. The clock has hit 0, but both teams were a little late out to the field getting to warm up. The Sharks ran through a quick warm-up and are now running to their bench. They're wearing silver helmets, black jerseys, black pants, teal numbers, teal trim, the Atlantic Block A logo on their silver helmets with a teal and black stripe across the middle. The Matanzas Pirates are wearing dark blue helmets, white jerseys, dark blue pants with blue numbers and black trim. And in silver on the helmets is their uniform number. A very sharp-looking team are Matanzas. I remember last year when we went up to the Ship in Flagler and played them for their opening game of the season, they wore blue, black, blue with white numbers. It was a very clean look. So both teams are around their sidelines getting ready to get the second half underway. And I talked to athletic director Julian Doster before the game today. We were, standing around on the field before the game and just talking about the season. And he said last week against New Smyrna Beach, even though they were down 22-0 and lost the game, the atmosphere on the sidelines was very good. Players were hyping each other up. They were still into the game. They weren't very defeated. So we'll see if that attitude can get the Sharks on the board this season and this game and get them back into it. They're only down 7, and their defense, by and large, even though they've gotten some luck, as I've mentioned previously, have been solid. They've stopped Matanzas a couple of times. The Pirates have punted 3 times. We are just about set to go. Landon Grover getting ready to kick off from left to right. He's got the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line, and Marion Washington is back deep to receive for Atlantic. As we just awaits the referee's signal, everybody appears to be ready. Oh, they're waiting for the scoreboard, which had 3 minutes put back on it after the time ran out because the teams were still warming up, has still 30 seconds left to go. So we are waiting that 30 seconds. So this gives me 30 seconds to remind you that if you're enjoying tonight's broadcast in any capacity, be sure to hit the like button on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and share the broadcast with other Sharks fans by clicking share or retweet. Thank you for supporting MJT Sports Productions and Atlantic Sharks football. Since 2004, these teams have met 9 times. Atlantic leads the series 5-4. They won 4 of the first 6, mostly in the mid-2000s. The Pirates have won 2 of the last 3, and of course that 52-0 win for Matanzas to open up last year was the 3rd shutout in series history. Matanzas has done it twice in 2008 and 2020, and Atlantic has shut out the Pirates once. That was all the way back in 2007. The clock has now hit 0 and has been reset to 12 minutes on the 3rd quarter clock, so we'll try this again. The whistle blows, and the referee is still standing in front of the football as the white hat is talking to, it looks like athletic director Julian Doster for Atlantic has 2 referees with him and an EMT. And the referee just waved the game off. He waved his hands in the air. He went to Coach Bell, and the teams are leaving the field. I do not know what's happening here. The Atlantic Sharks are going straight back down the tunnel. Matanzas has huddled on their sideline, and they're starting to walk back toward the tunnel as well. So everybody was lined up to kick off the second half. The ball was on the tee. All 21 players were out there. Then the white hat, another referee, Julian Doster, who's the acting athletic director at Seabreeze High School, was talking. It looked to like it was an EMT or a medical professional in the field of play around the 25-yard line to near side 25-yard line to listener's right. And the referee, the white hat referee, waved both his hands above his head, went and talked to Coach Bell, and immediately Coach Jeremy Bell ushered his team down the tunnel, and Matanzas followed suit. Matanzas is walking very slowly towards the locker room. They are now just beginning to make their way off the field. And it looks like the fans are beginning to make their way to the exits as well, or at least starting to congregate around the portals. Now, what I think it might be is there might have been lightning in the area. It is Florida. It is still late summer, so storms can pop up all over the place. And if that is the case, then we will be in a 30-minute delay, and they have started a 30-minute delay clock. So we are now in a 30-minute lightning delay, right as the second half was about to kick off. Well, I don't know what to tell you. This is a first for me. All 21 players are on the field. The kicker for Matanzas, Landon Grover, looked set to kick off the ball, and right before the referee blew his whistle,
Of course, until we give the all clear. Thank you.
right before the referee blew his whistle, there's the public address announcer saying that everybody has to clear the stands and go onto the concourse. And now the fans are filing out onto the concourse here at Daytona Stadium. Only one side of the stands is filled tonight, which is interesting because usually we get the home team's fans on this side where we are under on the larger stand under the media center, and you'll get the road team's fans and band and cheerleaders and everything like that on the far sideline. But tonight, they have put everybody on this near side. The Matanzas band is all the way in the bottom left corner of the stands. The Atlantic band is all the way in the bottom right corner of the stands. The Matanzas fans and Atlantic fans are just about split 50-50 down the middle here, as everybody packs up their things and heads for the exit. So I'm guessing we are going to be in a 30-minute lightning delay. The score is still Matanzas Pirates 7, Atlantic Sharks nothing. So we will take a break. I will go confirm that is exactly what is happening. That's still unconfirmed, just a thing from what I can see and what I've heard from the public address announcer. So I will be back in just a moment to confirm that. And then I suppose we will take a extended break here from Daytona Stadium. Once again, your score, the Matanzas Pirates 7, the Atlantic Sharks nothing. It looks like halftime is going to go on a little bit longer as we are now in a 30-minute lightning delay. Back at Daytona Stadium here in Daytona Beach, Florida, we had some lightning, we had some rain, but now both teams are back out onto the field for a warm-up period. Once again, your score is the Matanzas Pirates 7, the Atlantic Sharks nothing. We're just getting set to begin the second half of football action. We were all set to go with the second half. Both teams were out there in formation. Matanzas was getting ready to kick it off. And then just as the kick was about to be taken, the game was called off by the fire marshal for lightning delay. We've had that 30-minute delay. In that time, it rained a little bit. The stands were cleared. The fans are now filing back to the seats. The players are out on the field warming up. There's 5 minutes on the countdown clock for the teams to get warm and ready to go. And then we will have second half football. Just a reminder of what happened in the first half. After a punt by Matanzas, Atlantic had its best drive of the game, an 8-play drive in which they drove down into Matanzas territory, stopped 2 yards shy on a fake punt, and turned the ball over on downs. Then Matanzas took that ball, went 75 yards on 7 plays, and scored the only score of the game with a 3-yard rushing touchdown by Daquan Evans. Atlantic and Matanzas then traded punts. Matanzas got the ball off a 3-yard Atlantic punt inside the 20-yard line, punched it in, then was called back for a chop block, and on the very next play, Daquan Evans coughed up the football for his 3rd turnover of the season via fumble. He already has 2 interceptions last week in their loss to Menendez. But Atlantic couldn't get anything going from their own 4. They went 3 and out, and Matanzas could not get anything going from about midfield. They had to punt. And then that was the end of the half, which gets you your score, Matanzas 7, Atlantic nothing. So with just under 3 minutes to go until the game gets underway again, I hope the fire marshal is out there again and he is headed for the referee. Oh boy, hold your horses, we may be going back under delay. Director Julian Doster at JE at volusia.k12.fl.us. That's JEDOSTER at volusia.k12.fl.us. And your business could be on air with the Atlantic Sharks. The Sharks tonight in their silver helmets, black jerseys, black pants, teal numbers, teal trim, the block teal A with a white stripe on the helmet. The Matanzas Pirates in blue helmets. It's a very navy royal-ish blue. Blue helmets, white uniforms, blue pants, blue numbers, black trim, and on the helmets are their player numbers in silver and a chrome finish on those helmets as well. A very sharp look for Matanzas. So the clock ran out, and now there are 12 minutes on the third quarter clock. Both teams have congregated at their sidelines. The referees are meeting in the middle of the field, and they're about to put the ball down on the tee at the 40-yard line, and we are just about ready to get back to basketball. What season is this? Football action, excuse me. Flagler Palm Coast in other action around the area. Flagler Palm Coast continues to lead Mainland 17-7. A reminder, the Sharks are up at Flagler Palm Coast next week. You can catch that game on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube on MJT Sports Productions. Coverage starts 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That'll be a tough test against those Bulldogs. Next week, Matanzas ends its 3-game season opening road trip as they head to Deltona. Those are those games on the 10th. Those are the last 2 games for those teams before they start district play. The district for Atlantic will start with Pine Ridge on the 17th, and for Matanzas will start with Gainesville also on the 17th. So we are ready for second half football action. The kick is in the air, going left to right. Marion Washington takes the catch of the 10. Up to the 20, trying to look for a lane 25, and he's going to be down right there, gang tackled by a couple of Matanzas Pirates. Nice gain for Marion Washington. Out of the second half, Atlantic will start with the football. They go right to left in this third quarter.
Sir, second half action on the Sharks with the football. 1st and 10, 25-yard line.
And they'll start at the 25-yard line. John Killingsworth, after getting the play from head coach Jeremy Squatty Bell, trots to the huddle to relay the information. A couple of late substitutions as well by the Sharks. Atlantic's offensive line has had a tough go of it tonight. They've been pretty much unable to contain the linebacker blitzes that the Pirates have been throwing at them basically every play to combat the Atlantic wing T, although there are two receivers spread out wide to the left-hand side of the formation. That's the near side towards our broadcast position. From the 25, 1st and 10, and a flag flies, and it's going to be a false start against Atlantic. That'll back him up 5 yards. It'll be 1st down and 20. That's the 5th penalty against Atlantic tonight. Both teams have had flags flown against them 5 times in the ball game. Good to see the fans back. They were told to exit to the concourse. Not all of them did, but then when the rain came about 15 minutes into the lightning delay, the rest of them quickly either put up umbrellas or ponchos, or the vast majority of them took shelter underneath the concourse. Now, before the ball has even been snapped on this drive, it's 1st down and 15 after the false start from the 20-yard line. Got to get to the 35 for a 1st down. Killingsworth is actually in the gun with 2 receivers to his left. Killingsworth takes the snap, looks to throw underneath. That pass is complete. Far side 20, and back to the original line of scrimmage at the 25. So the pass play goes for 5 yards.
6 on the play, brings up 2nd down.
They'll spot the ball right at the 25-yard line, so a 5-yard gain brings up 2nd and 10. Could not see who caught that pass, but it looks like it would have been John Quest Jamerson out there.
Ball is at the Atlantic 25-yard line.
Correction, that was Dennis Gaines who picked up that last catch. 2nd and 10, same formation with Killingsworth back of the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers spread out wide to the left. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers for Matanzas. The snap goes way over Killingsworth's head. Bounces back inside the 10. Killingsworth can't corral it. It's inside the 5, and it's going to be downed by Atlantic at the 2-yard line. One of the offensive linemen raced back there to pick up the pieces, but once again, Atlantic is inside its own 5 for the 3rd time tonight, and this time it's self-inflicted. That snap went way over John Killingsworth's head. He couldn't corral it, and an offensive lineman eventually had to prevent that from being a scoop and score touchdown for Matanzas, but it is 3rd and a country mile from the 2. 3rd and 33, the official mark, as they got to get to the 35. And at this point, you're just trying to make some space for your punter. Killingsworth up the middle, dives forward for a yard, if that.
Keeper for a short gain brings up.
And so it'll be 4th down and 34, or 32. And once again, John Quest Jamerson is going to have to punt. So what started as a promising drive for the Sharks comes to an abrupt end as a snap goes over the head of John Killingsworth, losing 20 yards and setting the Sharks back. This is the 2nd time in the ball game that Jamerson has had to punt from inside of his own end zone and with his heels back against the back of the end zone. He had a punt earlier in this game that went for only 3 yards, then ended up having the Pirates start at the Atlantic 17. This punt is almost blocked, and it's going to be very short. It's going to be plus territory for Matanzas. It bounces at the 30, and it's going to go out of bounds at the Atlantic 35-yard line. So the for the 3rd time in this game, the Matanzas Pirates are going to start in plus territory.
33-yard punt, no return. Matanzas takes over, 1st and 10.
33-yard punt.
35-yard line.
And out comes the Atlantic offense led by sophomore quarterback Daquan Evans. Last week against Menendez, only 3 for 10 passing yards, but 131 yards on the ground. Threw 2 interceptions and caught 1 pass for 21 yards. And we have a little bit of an intermission here as the Matanzas Pirates are waiting to head onto the field. They are still congregated at their bench area. The Atlantic defense is out there standing at about the 20-yard line. And we do not know what the delay is. Now the huddle breaks. And Atlantic is going to kick off. Did they call a safety? Atlantic is going to kick off from the 20-yard line. They did not change the score on the scoreboard.
So Atlantic will be kicking off.
Anyway, Jamerson kicks off from the 20. It's going to be fielded at the 40 by Jordan Mills of Matanzas. Mills breaks one tackle midfield, 45, and down at the 42-yard line. So Matanzas will take over in plus territory, but at the 42. I have no clue why Atlantic was kicking off just after they punted.
Mills returns it. Score is 9-0 now.
Okay, they did call a safety. That's the second safety on the season given up by the Sharks. Gave up one last week. And now it is 9-0.
On the back line before he could punt the football.
They're saying John Quest Jamerson, the punter's foot, stepped out of the back of the end zone before he got the ball away. That's the only reason why they would have been punting. Anyway, Matanzas gets the ball in plus territory at the 42-yard line. Evans takes the snap, plenty of time. Now Rush comes late. He escapes, 45-40. 35, dives forward. Ball comes out. It looks like Matanzas is going to jump on the football. Atlantic claims they have it, but Matanzas will keep possession. It's going to end up being about an 8-yard play.
Matanzas has retained the football.
After the fumble, the fumble was recovered by Peyton Ellis, it appears, the defensive tackle who scampered downfield after his quarterback and recovered the ball.
2nd and 2.
So a gain of 8, 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line. Evans looks to air it out, steps to his right. Penalty flag flies in the area of holding. He does eventually throw the ball downfield to Weinkoff. Weinkoff is hit hard after he makes the catch inside the 20-yard line. A flag comes in. So there are multiple fouls on the play. One in the backfield in the area of holding, and one way downfield where Tate Weinkoff got absolutely smacked by Marion Washington after he'd made the catch. The referees are talking this one over, so I think the best case scenario for Atlantic is that if the fouls are going to offset and we're going to redo 2nd down. I remember last week there was a targeting call against Atlantic and that I didn't really agree with, but the referees have the final word. And this looked similar because Tate Weinkoff made the catch at about the 20-yard line and got absolutely popped by Washington. All 4 officials are congregated at the near side 20-yard line right near the number as we await their decision with 8:55 to go in the 3rd quarter. Matanzas leads Atlantic 9-0 after the safety on the opening.
29 where the tackle was made. I'm sorry, the 19.
All right, here comes the white hat. We will have clarity. And now he goes back to huddle with the rest of the officials, so we will not have clarity just yet. Now here comes the head official. Let's see what he has to say. Face mask on the defense.
Personal foul on hit against Atlantic.
And that's the only foul. So it'll move Matanzas inside the red zone.
At the 9-yard line.
1st down and goal for Matanzas.
Come on, defense. Let's hold them.
First down and goal for Matanzas at the 9. They go left to right in this 3rd quarter. They've already scored via a safety after the 30-minute lightning delay. And timeout Atlantic. Atlantic is going to take a timeout as Coach Jeremy Bell is visibly frustrated on the sideline talking to his players. We'll take a quick break as well. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Stay with us. Back at Daytona Stadium, first and goal for the Matanzas Pirates at the 9-yard line after they had a safety on the last Atlantic drive to extend their lead to 9-0. During that timeout, Coach Jeremy Bell was in an intense conversation with the head official.
Stiffened up all night. Fans, let's help them do it. Let's make some noise.
Last time Matanzas was in this position, Daquan Evans from the football. This time he takes it right up the middle and he's going to dive into the end zone unopposed. Touchdown, Matanzas.
Touchdown.
Second rushing touchdown of the game for Daquan Evans from inside the 10.
8:47 to go in the third quarter.
So a long pass
Scores 15-0.
and a penalty ruin the chances for Atlantic to keep this one a one-score game. It is 15-0 pending the extra point. This game looks like it's going the way the game last week went, but the Sharks kept it close for a while. But the opponent is pulling away here in the second half after, remember, a lengthy 30-minute delay for lightning in the area, extended halftime to about an hour. So 8:47 to go on the third quarter clock. And extra point pending at 16-0, but we'll see. Extra points aren't a given at the high school level. But Landon Grover has proven himself to be a very capable kicker today, both on kickoffs and punts, and the first extra point from the opening touchdown. And there's another personal foul on Atlantic and Matanzas. So offsetting personal fouls after the touchdown play. Matanzas running on a player late to get into the formation to block for Landon Grover's kick. Tate Weinkoff is the holder at the 10-yard line. Snap is good. Kick is up and good. So with 8:47 to go in the third quarter, it's Pirates 16, Sharks nothing. We'll be right back after this short break. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Getting set to kick off once again is Landon Grover for the Matanzas Pirates after only a 4-play, 42-yard touchdown drive and the second rushing touchdown of the game from 9 yards out by Daquan Evans. So the Pirates lead 16-0, and Atlantic's offense, as with last week, has been quite anemic in this game. They had one good drive. That was the opening drive of the game. The kickoff was returned out past the 20. And the Sharks will start at the 22-yard line. That was not a Marion Washington on that last kick return. That was Gary Thomas, who was with Washington at the 10-yard line. So penalties starting to mount up to 7 for Atlantic, and a face mask on that last drive was very costly that set Matanzas up inside the 10 after a long pass play. Sharks offense back out on the field. Let's see if they can get something going here. 8:41 to go, third quarter, down 16-0. The snap to Killingsworth. He tries to hand it off up the middle to Jarius Hawkins, and Hawkins is stretched out and blasted down back at the 18-yard line, loss of 3. Leading the charge for the Matanzas defense that time was Jordan Mills, along with Bailey Russell, as they try to dive with Jarius Hawkins, the play that was probably the most effective for them last week in their game against New Smyrna Beach, as Hawkins rushed for 46 yards. But that time it only went backwards. Loss of 5.5, maybe 6 on the play. Second down and 15. 2 receivers spread out wide to the right for Killingsworth. Killingsworth takes the snap, drops back to throw, has time, and he's going to escape, roll out of the pocket. He's at the 10, near side, 15, touring down the sideline, 25, and is pushed out of bounds. They're going to say he stepped out all the way back at the 18-yard line, so it's going to be a no gain on the play. Killingsworth ran about 12 yards back and then up the sideline to gain nothing. So now it's third down and 15 from the 18-yard line. Chris Pinkney is checking into the game for the Sharks. Killingsworth running back to the huddle after getting the play. John Quest Jamerson comes out. As Cole Hash, the wide receiver slash linebacker for the Pirates, is really trying to fire up that Matanzas sideline here on 3rd and 15. From the 18-yard line. Killingsworth with 3 receivers to his right. Steps back. Here comes the blitz. Killingsworth tries to escape. He's running at the 5. He's going to chuck it up into no man's land and incomplete. And it's going to be 4th down and 15. And once again, the Atlantic offense only succeeds in going backwards. Matanzas brought the house, and once again, the Atlantic offensive line has had nothing for the defensive front of Matanzas today. And it doesn't get any easier for the Sharks as they face a Flagler Palm Coast team that is currently up against Mainland, who is currently the dominant, who has been for forever, the dominant force in Volusia Flagler high school football. And it looks like there's another flag on the play on Atlantic that's going to move the ball back to the 2-yard line.
Bring the ball back to the 2-yard line.
I didn't see what the penalty was for. I didn't see what the white hat signaled for, but I can only assume that is why the ball is back inside the 2. And once again, John Quest Jamerson is going to have to punt from the back of his own end zone. That's the 3rd time tonight. And the last time he tried to do it after the first drive of the 3rd quarter, he stepped on the back line for safety. This punt is blocked in the end zone. It's going to be recovered by Matanzas for the touchdown.
And the punt is blocked in the end zone.
Matanzas brought the house. They blocked the punt. And I believe that is Jordan Mills who recovered the ball in the end zone for the Matanzas touchdown. From bad to worse for Atlantic. And now here's the score that it was last week, 22-0. And that's before the extra point from Landon Grover. Well, all Grover's had to do tonight, he's punted it twice, he's kicked off 3 times, and now he's going to kick his 3rd extra point. It's up and good. And it is 23-0 Pirates over Sharks. Well, we thought that this game might be in the balance at halftime. It was only 7-0. Maybe the Sharks can do something offensively to turn it around. But that has not happened. And 3 straight drives with Matanzas scores. An Atlantic safety to open the 3rd quarter. A Matanzas drive, 42 yards, and a rushing touchdown from inside the 10. And then a block punt in the end zone goes for another Matanzas touchdown. And a kickoff by Grover. Marion Washington is under it at the 10-yard line. He takes it up to the 15, right-hand side 20, makes one man miss, and up to the 24-yard line before he's finally wrestled down by a barrage of Pirates. They're going to spot him just about the 22-yard line. So Atlantic has started drives at the 25, 23, and now 22. Their first drive of the 3rd quarter ended at a safety with a punt out of the back of the end zone, stepped on the line. And their second drive that started at the 23 as also ended up at the 2. And they got a block punt in the end zone recovered for a touchdown by Matanzas.
The 23-yard line.
7:14 to go, 3rd quarter, 23-0 Matanzas. And this lead has gotten real big, real quick. It was 7-0 at half. Let's see if Atlantic can get anything going in the run game here. Killingsworth going to keep it himself, looks for an opening, tries to get up the middle, is going to be ripped down from behind after a gain of only 3. Up to the 27-yard line. Well, they're going to give him a generous spot. Let's say he gained 5. So it'll be 2nd down and 5 from the 27.
The Atlantic ground game was productive there, gain of about 5.
Well, this does not look like the Matanzas Pirates team, especially just on offense, that I expected to see tonight. Expected to see a lot more up-tempo, a lot more deep passes, but it's been a lot of quarterback option. It's been a lot of runs from the quarterback position. Here's 2nd and 10. High snap for Killingsworth. Round the left-hand side, 30, breaks a tackle. Oh, no, he got dragged down from behind by the back of his jersey by Jordan Mills. It will be a 1st down out to the 38, and the first down of the half for Atlantic. John Killingsworth almost escaped down the sideline there. Jordan Mills barely pulled him down by his coat sleeves. Had his jersey really stretched to bring down Killingsworth because there was nobody between Killingsworth and going down the sideline. And I almost thought he broke that tackle. In fact, I said he broke the tackle because I thought he was going to get away from Mills. So that might have been a touchdown-saving tackle in the grand scheme of things. And we have a timeout on the field. It's time you feel your best physically, mentally, spiritually, to be centered and supported, to feel the power of a world-class healthcare network coming together to help you take control of your health. It's time to feel whole. Advent Health is a proud supporter of Volusia County School Athletics. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. So after the first down for Atlantic of the second half, let's see if they can keep this drive going. They're at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 going right to left. In this 3rd quarter, 6:14 to go in it. Clock stops after the timeout taken. I don't know which team called the timeout. Snap to Killingsworth. Up the middle he goes. Breaks one tackle, 40, and he's going to be down at the 43-yard line after a gain of 5 yards. Excellent pickup on first down. Got to get to the 48 for a fresh set. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for the second set of downs in a row.
Nice run by Atlantic. 5-yard gain. Gets it about the 43-yard line. 2nd and 5.
And it doesn't look like Matanzas is playing a second unit on defense. The offensive line for Matanzas, or for Atlantic, sorry, is getting a little bit better blocking and a little bit better pushes on this drive than they have been previously in the second half. And that's going to be a false start as the center just popped up.
False start against Atlantic.
And another false start penalty against Atlantic. That is their 9th penalty of the game altogether. So that'll be 2nd and 10, negating the gain of 5 that the Sharks had on first down. Matanzas swapped some players, has had a couple run off late. High snap to Killingsworth. Going to run around the near side to Washington, and he's going to be ripped out of bounds near the 40-yard line. A flag comes in from the back judge. It looked like there was no gain on the play. If there was, it was minimal, but we'll see what the flag is. The only thing I could think it would be is a horse collar tackle, but I don't know why the back judge would be making that call when there were 2 officials closer to the play and neither of them called it. So we shall see. They haven't moved the ball yet. It was going to be a face mask against Matanzas. So I was almost correct. It's a face mask, not a horse collar.
It's going to work against Matanzas. That's going to move the chains.
And that's a 15-yard penalty and sets
first down.
The Sharks up inside Matanzas territory for the first time. First time in the second half, I should say. They were across the 50-yard line once in the first half on their opening drive of the game, where they got down inside the 40 and then had that turnover on downs. So, Atlantic sets up 1st and 10, right to left, at the 46-yard line. Snap is going to be a direct snap to Jonquez Jamerson. Jamerson trying to pick his way right through the middle. Will get 1 up to the 45-yard line. Not really an effective play there, although a little bit of a deception on the direct snap to Jamerson. And I'm not sure how much you can hear of the Matanzas band, but they are dancing, and the drums are playing, and they're having a good time out here tonight. Why shouldn't they be? Their team is up 23-0. 4:36 to go in the third quarter. 2nd down and 9 for the Sharks from the Matanzas 45. Killingsworth, snap, flag. And it looks like this one might come back again as well for false start. Oh, they're going to call offsides. And I think they're going to call it on Cam Davis,
Offsides on the defense.
the defensive lineman for Matanzas, because he moved into the neutral zone, and I think the offensive line for Atlantic responded. So they're going to call the offsides. So instead, it's 2nd down and 4 instead of being 2nd down and 9. Another penalty. Now both teams, here's a snap to Killingsworth, roll around to the left past the 40, and it's going to be just about a 1-yard gain up to the 39. Got to get to the 36 for a first down, so it'll be 3rd down and 3. What I was going to say before is now both teams are almost equal in penalties. Atlantic has committed 9. Matanzas has committed 8. It's been a very penalty-laden game. 3:47 to go and counting. It's 3rd down and 3. From the 37-yard line, Killingsworth right up the middle. He's going to be close to a first down. It's going to depend on the spot, and he's going to be short. He's going to be a yard short. He needed the 36. He got to the 37. And we'll see if Atlantic keeps the offense on the field. And I see Kawasi Kawaku into the game, the freshman,
On the play makes it 4th down and 1.
who
Let's go,
got some
Sharks!
snaps in for Killingsworth last week when John Killingsworth was
Fourth
injured. So
down.
it is 4th down and 1. And Kawasi Kawaku, the freshman, is in at quarterback. Kawaku takes the snap and a flag. And it looks like this is going to be a false start against Atlantic. Oh, no. Another penalty. Atlantic's 10th of the night. And it takes it from being a 4th and 1 to a 4th and 6. And that's disaster for the Sharks. As Kawaku trots to the sideline, it looks like Killingsworth will go back in. And Marion Washington also checking in. We'll see if they decide to punt or they try to go for it on 4th down.
42-yard line.
4th and 6 from the Matanzas 42. This is only the second time the
Going for it.
Sharks have been in plus territory this season. I would have loved to see a Kawasi Kawaku run. Haven't seen him at all carrying the ball tonight.
4th down.
But it is
Let's go,
4th
Sharks!
down and 6. Got to get to the 36. Matanzas looks set to bring the house. They do bring the house. Killingsworth going to throw down the field. It's over the head of the intended receiver and incomplete. And it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Killingsworth's pass falls incomplete. It's a turnover on down.
The pass was intended for Jonquez Jamerson.
Ball past midfield.
And the second turnover on downs for the Sharks will give the Matanzas Pirates back the ball after another promising drive goes begging. And you got to say that the penalty, the false start on 4th and 1 to make it 4th and 6, was really the difference maker. So Matanzas starts at their own 42-yard line. Daquan Evans in there at quarterback. Three receivers to his right, one receiver to his left. He's going to set up the screen for Shomarian Gaines out of the backfield, and Gaines gets hammered at the 40-yard line. Flag flies. And the Atlantic player that made the hit, he's got his side turned to me currently, so I can't see his number. He was flexing and trying to fire up the Atlantic sideline. It looks like it's Jonquez Jamerson. He's been all over the field tonight. I've been really impressed with him in both sides of the ball, defense and offense. But he may be getting an unnecessary roughness penalty. The Sharks are hitting hard, but deemed by the officials, I think, for this to be unfairly. Oh, no, they're going to get a holding on the offense. I thought for sure that was going to be unnecessary roughness on Jamerson, but no, the call comes in holding. The referees have not moved the ball yet. We're going to get another signal from the official. And yes, they're going to move the ball back. Back to the 32-yard line. So a 10-yard penalty makes it 1st and 20.
Penalty goes against Matanzas.
The 9th penalty on the game for the Pirates.
Up 10 yards.
So 1st down and 20 from the 32. Matanzas in their blue helmets, white jerseys, blue pants. They go left to right. 2 in the backfield flanking Daquan Evans, who's under center. 1 receiver to the right, 2 receivers to the left. A handoff goes to Shomarian Gaines off the left-hand side, and Gaines is going to get up to the 35-yard line and be smothered by the Sharks. Gain of 3. And it's going to be 2nd down and 17. Looked like Tyon Jakes was in on that tackle for the Sharks, as well as Preston Kuznov. It's a name we haven't called yet this season. A linebacker, senior. Excuse me, sophomore Preston Kuznov, not senior. 2nd down and 17. A handoff and a flag. And the play is blown dead again, as this game has become almost comedy of errors-esque.
Matanzas up another
as another false start backs Matanzas up, and that's their 10th penalty. Both teams have committed 10 penalties. There's 1:05 to go in the third quarter. And a couple of those penalties have been really costly for Atlantic. The face mask that moved Matanzas down inside the 5. The personal foul that caused them to have to punt from their own 2. That punt was blocked. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, ball left hash. Evans is going to keep it on a design quarterback run. He's got space to the 40. He's got back to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to be run down to the 49-yard line. He needed the 48 of Atlantic for a first down. He's going to be 3 yards short. Oh boy, Daquan Evans. Was very close to picking up a 3rd down and 17. And it is going to be 4th down.
Good carry by Mills. Makes it 3rd down.
Oh, no, that was 2nd down. Excuse me. So now it is 3rd down and short.
Down.
It's 3rd down and 2. Spot the ball right at midfield. They need the 48-yard line for a first down. Mills is the running back. He gets the call straight up the middle, and he's going to drag 5 or 6 Sharks for a first down to the 46-yard line. That's impressive leg strength from Jordan Mills, the 5'11", 160-pound sophomore. He was met right in the hole, and it looked for a second like the Sharks were going to have enough to bring him down and stop him. But it was not to be. First down at the 46 of the Sharks. Floated out there, incomplete over the head of Tyson Mills. Evans wanted the quick slant to the sideline, and it was not there. 2nd down and 10. And this does not look like a Matanzas team that lost 29-0 last week to Menendez. A Menendez team that is currently getting shut out by St. Augustine. On 2nd and 10, motion left to right. Evans going to roll that way, looking for an opening. Now he's going to dance in the backfield back to his left. He's going to be corralled in the backfield and dropped back at the 48-yard line. Excellent pursuit in the backfield by the Sharks' front line.
And Evans is dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 5.
It's going to be a loss of 5, and it's going to set up
Called a sack
3rd down and 15.
14.
And that will be the end of the third quarter. It was all Pirates in the third as they score 2 touchdowns and have a safety. So the Pirates lead the Sharks 23-0. 4's up. We head to the fourth quarter after this. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. It's fourth quarter time from Daytona Stadium. Matanzas facing a 3rd down and 15 from right at the midfield stripe. They go right to left in this fourth quarter in their white uniforms, blue helmets, and blue pants. The snap to Evans. He fakes the handoff. He's going to throw to the far side. It's broken up. He was looking for Cameron Sleep, the wide receiver, and it was broken up on the far sideline and incomplete. And it is 4th down and 15 for Matanzas. Good stand by the Atlantic defense that time to keep Matanzas from moving the ball too far down the field. They picked it up at their own 42 and only managed to drive 8 yards in the grand scheme of things. But again, 2 false start penalties on that drive for Matanzas doesn't help. And on to punt is Landon Grover. Grover, low snap, corrals it, gets the punt away. It's a beauty. It's going to be caught at the 15-yard line by Washington. Washington makes 2 men miss to the 20. And wait, they're going to say his knee was down all the way back at the 13-yard line. It looked like Amarian Washington had room down the sideline. He did a nice move to make a man miss. He left a defender in the dust. But they're going to bring it all the way back because the referee said his knee was down when he caught the ball at the 13-yard line.
Down where he caught it because his knee hit the ground. 1st and 10 Atlantic.
So with 11:48 to go in the ball game, trailing 23-0, Atlantic has the ball. They go left to right in this 4th quarter. Silver helmets, black jerseys, teal numbers, black pants, teal block A across the helmet, and a teal and white stripe bisecting the helmet as well. From the 13, 2 receivers split out wide to the left for Killingsworth. Killingsworth takes the snap, looks to throw, has time. He's going to air it out down the field into one-on-one coverage, and it's incomplete.
Killingsworth pass over the middle is incomplete.
I can't quite see who the pass was intended for. It's very difficult to see these Atlantic numbers with no trim on them. It's dark teal against the black background. It was intended for Mason Cheatham, who is listed at quarterback, but there was playing wide out. 2nd down and 10 from the 13. No wide receiver. Snap to Killingsworth. He's going to dive right up the middle and get 2 yards at best. Then the official spot, they're going to say he got 1 up to the 14. 3rd down and 9.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9, 3rd and 9.
Well, despite the rain delay, it's been a very easy on the eyes night for football. Clouds obscuring the moon. It's a cool night as John Killingsworth is now down holding his left leg. And Atlantic is going to have to call an injury timeout here. Killingsworth tried to walk to the sideline to get the play from Coach Bell, and he did not make it there. He collapsed right on the 10-yard line, near side left. As we look at it from our broadcast position, he's now gingerly standing up with the help of the athletic trainer. Gets a nice round of applause, but he is not putting weight on that right leg, and he is being helped to the sideline. So we may see Kawasi Kawaku here, the freshman, who played snaps at quarterback last week when Killingsworth was out of the game with an injury. We'll see who's under center here as the Sharks come out for 3rd and 10. I don't see number 7. There he is. He was late getting out there. So Kawaku is in the ball game on 3rd down and 9 from the 14-yard line. Got to get it up to the 23 for a 1st down. The freshman quarterback is in. He takes the snap. He rolls to his right. He makes a man miss, and he's going to be wrangled down for a sack back at the 10. Luke Donor, who had a sack last week against Menendez, grabs his 2nd of the night for Matanzas. And it's going to be 4th and 14 from the 10-yard line. And the Sharks on to punt from deep in their own end zone, red zone again. Jonquez Jamerson's been doing the punting tonight. He's out there. He's standing at about his own goal line. The returner for Matanzas, who's got his side profile to me so I can't see who it is, stands at the Atlantic 35. anticipating a short punt. Snap, no pressure on the punt. Jamerson gets it away. It's actually a very nice punt. Backs up the returner. He makes the catch at the 45, right side 40 to the 35, and finally run out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So that's where the Matanzas Pirates will have the ball. It was number 24 who made the return. I do not have a 24 on the roster that was provided to me by Matanzas, so I have no idea who that is. My apologies to that return man. He actually made a nice move to avoid a Sharks defender who was barreling at him. I honestly thought he was going to try and call a fair catch. He caught the ball about the 45-yard line, then gained 10 yards on the return up to the 35. So good starting field position for the Pirates as they will start.
9:45 to go in a quarter. Just want to remind everybody next week, Atlantic.
And I'm not sure where they're going to spot the football for the Pirates because they have not moved the first down pylons from when it was fourth down for Atlantic. Now they're getting to move the pylons. Let's see where they spot the football. They're going to spot at the 35. So the fourth time this game, the Matanzas Pirates are going to start in plus territory, this time at the 35-yard line, going right to left. Taquan Evans is in the back, is in at quarterback. Mills is the running back. He's going to get the ball right up the middle, and he's going to be met and dropped for a gain of only 1. Excellent pressure by the Sharks front line. And that was like a late linebacker shooting through the gap to bring down Mills for only a gain of 1. Again, apologize for my lack of identifying Atlantic players. It is very difficult to see their numbers. Mills gets it again. This time stretch play to the right, dives forward. He's going to get about 2 more yards up to the 32-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 7. Actually, they give him a pretty unfavorable spot. I thought he was closer to the 30, but they're going to spot him back at the 32. So 2 runs by Mills for a gain of 7, or a gain of 3, rather. It's 3rd and 7. Daquan Evans looks to the sideline to get the play. He's got 2 receivers to his left, 1 receiver right, 2 in the backfield with him. It's going to be a handoff, trying to stretch the ball to the left-hand side to Mills. Mills gets to the 30. He's going to drag a Sharks defender inside the 25 for a first down to the 22-yard line. Eventually, Kentuan Royal pushed Mills out of bounds, but not before he had picked up a first down. So 3 straight runs to Jordan Mills gives Matanzas a first down, and it is very clear that Matanzas is just trying to run out the clock and get out of here with a win. Currently, there's 8 minutes and 10 seconds left and counting on the 4th quarter clock with the Pirates up 23-0. Evans stomps his foot, takes the snap, design quarterback draw all the way, shakes off 1 tackle to the 20, and he's going to be down right there. Actually, they'll spot him back at the 21-yard line. That time, Evans took it himself, faked the handoff to Mills. Looked like he had a little bit of a hole to try and cut it back, but in the end only gains 1 yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9. 4 straight runs on this drive. 3 to Mills, 1 a quarterback keeper from Evans. Mills is still in there at running back. There's still 3 receivers left, 1 right. Ball spotted right hash at the 22-yard line, 2nd down and 9. Fakes the handoff to Mills, throws to the near side left. Tyson Mills makes the catch at the 10. Flag flies in. Mills at the 5. Another flag flies in. He's tackled at the 3. But I think this one might be coming back. There were 2 flags thrown in quick succession on the near side by the referees, as Tyson Mills, brother of running back Jordan, was in all kinds of space after he caught that ball. So the Matanzas players are crowding around the referees as they converse at the 20-yard line, trying to sort out what the flags are. As we await the adjudication of the rules, here comes the referee. Holding on the offense. And a personal foul on the defense. Penalties offset, 2nd down and 9. So, all that comes to nothing. I didn't see what the personal foul was for on Atlantic. But both teams pick up their 11th penalties of the night. Those offset, 2nd and 9 again from the 22. Evans, gonna keep it on play action. Tries to escape, but is drugged down from behind. The ball comes out. The Sharks try to dive on top of it. It's a mad scramble at the 23-yard line. Who's got the football? The ball was punched out of Daquan Evans' hand in the backfield, and it popped loose. And Matanzas is going to keep possession. And there is a down Atlantic Shark. It was Tyon Jakes that chased down Daquan Evans in the backfield and punched the ball away. And then there was a mad scramble at the 23-yard line that has a Atlantic Shark player down on the ground. And from the build, it looks like a defensive lineman. And Atlantic was already short lineman because Christian Johnson, the 6'2", 270-pound junior, did not start tonight. And it looks like the injured player is getting to his feet with assistance. And is slowly walking toward the sideline under his own power. That's good to see. And that is Winder Altenor, who was down on the play, but he has now walked to the sideline under his own power. Excuse me, that was R.J. Pohl. R.J. Pohl was the man down. 6 foot, 230-pound junior. And they're saying it's a first down for Matanzas at the 11-yard line. So there must have been a flag on Atlantic. I did not see a flag down. I did not see the white hat signal for a penalty. So Matanzas recovers the fumble and then gets spotted 10 yards. I did not see a flag. I did not see the penalty, but it's 1st and 10 at the 11. Evans hands to Mills up the middle, breaks a tackle inside the 5 towards the goal line. He's going to be dropped down at the 2-yard line. So confusion reigns up here in the booth. There must have been a 10-yard penalty for Atlantic that I did not see. So 1st and goal from the 1. Hand off to Mills. He is met and dropped in the backfield for a loss of 2. Good pressure off the left-hand side of the defensive line. Angelo De La Pena, the defensive tackle, got back there to make the stop. And it's actually, they did not get a first down. They needed to get inside the 1 for a first. They got to the 2. So it's now 3rd down and 3 at the 4. They can get a first down inside the 1. But I think Matanzas would rather punch this one into the end zone. Evans gonna hand it off to Mills. Gets around the corner. Looks for the pylon, and he's in. Touchdown, Matanzas. It's the 3rd rushing touchdown of the night for the Matanzas Pirates. This one by Jordan Mills. It's a 6-play, 35-yard drive in which the Matanzas Pirates did not throw the ball. And they ran it and continued to run it all the way into the end zone. And it was eventually was a 4-yard scamper by Jordan Mills. The extra point is blocked and no good. So your score with 5:29 to go in the 4th quarter of play, Pirates 29, Sharks nothing. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. We'll be back after this. Play hard, eat clean, love big, and start living your best life. Because we're here to help heal what hurts, ease your mind, and lift your spirit with the latest medical innovation and whole person care. It's time to take control of your health. It's time to feel whole. Advent Health is a proud supporter of Volusia County School Athletics. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. Well, before the season started, Matanzas head coach Matt Forrest was quoted about Taquan Evans. He can throw the ball well, make all the reads. I've seen a lot of good things out of him. Well, he hasn't had to throw the ball much tonight because it's been the Matanzas ground game that has been dominant. 2 rushing touchdowns for Evans and now 1 for Jordan Mills, a 4-yard scamper. Gives the Pirates a 29-0 lead. With 5 minutes and 29 seconds to go in the ball game, Atlantic's going to get the ball back as Landon Grover gets set to kick off. And for a sophomore, Landon Grover kicks very well, punts very well. He's going to be hard to knock off that starting spot for the next 2 years. Kick is high and deep. Caught at the 10-yard line by Washington. Up to the 15, 20, left side 30. Head of steam 40. Past one man to beat 50. Can he stay on the sideline? 40, 30, 15, 10, 5. Marion Washington is all the way home. And Atlantic is on the board for the first time in 2021. And just like last year, it comes via a kickoff return for a touchdown. Marion Washington, 90 yards down the right sideline and into the end zone. He did not step out of bounds. There are no flags, and Atlantic is on the board. I tell you, when a Marion Washington takes off and has space, he is a blur. There was about a gap that looked about 2 inches wide at his own 30-yard line. He shot through it and then was off to the races, tiptoed down the sideline. I thought he might have stepped out at the 40, but he stayed in bounds and scampered all the way into the end zone for a 90-yard touchdown. So Marion Washington gets the Sharks on the board. They're going to go for a 2-point conversion here. Ball spotted at the 3-yard line. And a flag flies, and it's another false start. Oh, no, it's offsides. They're going to call offsides. And I do believe it was Zeke Flores, the linebacker, that moved. Because everybody in the Matanzas secondary that aren't playing too far off the line, because Atlantic is at the 3, trying to attempt a 2-point conversion. All the secondary members, linebackers, safeties, corners, just stepped up all at once towards the line of scrimmage, and now that's not going to fly.
Atlantic will be going for 2 points.
So now they go for 2 points from the 1.5-yard line. Snap to Killingsworth. He's going to try and look for a lane to the left side. He's in for the 2-point conversion. John Killingsworth found a lane to the outside with 5:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Pirates 29. Atlantic Sharks are on the board with 8 points. And we'll be back after this as the Pirates get the ball back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Well, last year it took the Atlantic Sharks to the 5th game of the season to score their first points. Tonight, they do it in the second game, but it comes the exact same way. A 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by a Marion Washington has put the Sharks on the board. They trail the Matanzas Pirates 29-8 with 5:15 to go in the ball game. Jonquez Jamerson getting ready to kick the ball off from the 40. Jamerson firing up his teammates on special teams. It's a squib kick. Lands at the 30-yard line. Bobbled by Noah Cundiff. And Noah Cundiff, that's his first appearance of the ballgame. A flag flies in late as a host of Sharks brought him down around the 25-yard line. And he is slow to get up. And Cundiff is going to... Excuse me, that was not Noah Cundiff. That was Jordan Mills. I confused 2 with 8. So that was Mills. I was surprised because I thought I saw 8. Noah Cundiff hasn't been playing all game. And he's still out with that foot injury. I see him on the sidelines now. He's not in pads. He's in a hoodie and jeans, so he is not playing tonight. Matanzas will hope to have him back for next week's game against Deltona. And it's going to be a personal foul against Atlantic that will back the Sharks up. 15 yards, so instead of the 25, they'll start at the 40. And I just look to drain the hourglass of the remaining time in this football game. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go. And they lead 29-0. Their last drive was a 35-yard drive, 7 plays, and a touchdown run. And they only ran the ball. They didn't throw it once, and I expect the exact same on this drive. DeQuan Evans still in at quarterback. Jordan Mills, the running back. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ball spotted right hash. Handoff off the left-hand side. In fact, that's Cole Hash, the wide receiver, lined up as a running back, and he gets nothing. In fact, he'll lose about 5 yards all the way back to the 35-yard line. Excellent push up front by the Sharks, and good lateral quickness by the linebackers as well to push him all the way out of bounds, because we know how speedy Cole Hash is. He dropped a surefire touchdown pass. He was way behind the corner covering him in the first half, and it just bounced off his fingertips. He's going to get the ball out of the backfield this time, try to bounce it outside to the left. He gets to the 40. One more man to beat, but he's going to be wrangled out into the Sharks bench at the 45 for a gain of 10. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5 at the 45. The man who ran him down was Angelo De La Pena for the Sharks. And Cole Hash heads to the bench, and in now at running back is Shomarian Gaines. It's been running back by committee for the Matanzas Pirates tonight. Shomarian Gaines, Jordan Mills, Cole Hash, Bailey Russell have all got carries. Tyson Mills has a couple of carries. 3rd down and 5 from the 45. Need to get the midfield to move the chains. Handoff, Shomarian Gaines. Makes a man miss in the backfield, running left 45. Hit to the 45 and dropped. He could not turn the corner, and it's 4th down and 6 after the loss of 1. Again, the lateral quickness to the left by the linebackers. That was an exact replica of the first down play when the Pirates went backwards on the sweep to Cole Hash.
Sharks defense working hard. It's 4th down.
And now it's 4th down and 5. 3:25 and counting to go in the ball game. I wonder what the Pirates are going to do here. They have an excellent punter in Landon Grover, and the Sharks call their 2nd time out of the half.
Timeout in the field, timeout Atlantic.
To all of those of you still listening on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at MJT Sports Productions, I really do appreciate every single one of you for tuning in and listening to Atlantic Sharks football. We'll be back next week on the 10th as the Sharks visit the Flagler Palm Coast Bulldogs. Coverage starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And so if you're enjoying tonight's broadcast, make sure to hit that like button on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Share the broadcast with other Sharks fans so they can listen in next week when the Sharks are on the road. Thank you for supporting MJT Sports Productions and Atlantic high school football. And I think that return touchdown by Marion Washington, while it's not going to win the Sharks the game, it's going to boost the morale of Atlantic. As Matanzas is on the field to go for it on 4th and 5 from their own 45 going left to right. 4th down. I did not expect this. The running back is Shomarian Gaines. Evans going to roll to his left. He's going to throw deep down the middle of the field. Got a man wide open. It's caught by Cole Hash. Hash is running in the middle to the 20, and he's picked up and dropped WWE style at the 20-yard line. He was wide open, was Cole Hash, at the 45-yard line, and it was an easy pitch and catch downfield for Daquan Evans to hit him in stride. And on 4th down, Matanzas moves the ball down to the 21-yard line. And that's a backbreaker for the Sharks defense, who thought they'd gotten off the field with a 3-and-out, and now the Pirates are close to being back in the red zone again.
At the 21-yard line.
Shomarian Gaines is still the running back. He gets the carry running around to the left, makes a man miss in the backfield, cuts it back around up the middle. There's a huge hole up to the 15, to the 10, and down right there. The ball comes out, and the Atlantic Sharks think they have it, and they do. Second fumble on the night for the Matanzas Pirates. Actually, it's the third, but it's the second recovery for the Sharks. Atlantic takes over at their own 10-yard line. Angelo De La Pena was the man to recover the football, and Atlantic does take over. So from their own 10, Atlantic has really lost the field position battle tonight. In my post-game show, I'll run you through the start. Oh, no. Correction. It's still Matanzas football. I thought for all the world Atlantic was going to have the ball, but it was 2nd down and 1 from the 11, and Evans carries the ball right up the middle.
Ruled down. Matanzas kept the ball, and they've moved the chains. It's 1st down.
And Evans keeps the ball, rolls to the 12-yard line. A flag flies in way late after the play, as the Sharks are clearly frustrated. They thought they had the ball, but Shomarian Gaines' knee was ruled down. Ball's going to be spotted at the 13-yard line, or excuse me, at the 7-yard line. 1st down and goal. Clock runs, 2 minutes to go. Handoff, Shomarian Gaines running right. He's got a clear path to the end zone. He's going to make it there. A flag does fly. Gaines takes a hard pop as he crossed the goal line. We'll see what the penalty flag is. And it looks like two sets of players are going to have to be separated after a little bit of a confrontation after the play. No flag was flown for the confrontation. There was a flag right at the 13-yard line, right at their line of scrimmage. Not the 13, the 7-yard line, excuse me, right at the line of scrimmage. And they're going to back up Matanzas. At least that's what I think they're going to do. The referees are still in conversation at the 10-yard line. Now here comes the lead official. Block in the back on Matanzas. And they'll push him back. So it will be still 1st and goal.
That'll back him up 10. No touchdown.
So that's the second touchdown taken off of the board by a Matanzas penalty. There was one in the first half on the drive where on the very next play, Daquan Evans fumbled the football, was picked up by Atlantic. Now Cole Hash is back in at running back. The fullback is Dominic Nocero.
1st and goal at the 22-yard line.
1st and goal from the 22. Evans going to run around to the left, gets a nice seal block, cuts inside, makes a man miss at the 20, makes 2 miss at the 15, and finally dragged down inside the 10. And they're going to spot him right at the 10-yard line. That's where his knee went down on another little scuffle after the play. A flag flies in late. And I think it's important for Atlantic to hold their composure here as 2 more flags fly in after the play. And tensions are running high, and Jeremy Bell is in there to break it up. And there was a player being sent to the sideline. It's John Killing. Oh, no, excuse me. It's Kwasi Kawaku, the freshman. And the freshman's got to learn to keep your head there, young man. There is nothing to be gained by picking fights down 29-8 with a minute and a half left. There are 3 yellow penalty markers down at the 10-yard line after about a 15-yard scamper by Daquan Evans. There was a beautiful seal block on the outside by Cole Hash right at the 20-yard line when Evans was rolling out to the left. He cut it back in right at the numbers of a beautiful seal block from Hash and just kind of dragged some Atlantic defenders with him. And Jeremy Bell has his whole team around him on the sideline, and we can't understand, we can't hear what he's saying from up here, but something tells me I wouldn't want to broadcast what he's saying. But he's trying to get the Atlantic Sharks under control, as I'm sure is Matt Forrest over on the Matanzas sideline, as they're all huddled up around the 20-yard line as well. So there are still 3 flags down on the field. And the referees are still in consultation with each other. The Atlantic defense is trotting back out where it should be without the flag, 2nd down and goal from the 9. Here comes the Matanzas offense. And the referees, all 4 of them, are still in heightened conversation. And the referees are having to separate the 2 sets of players still. It appears they're still jawing at each other. Atlantic making some substitutions here as the referees continue to deliberate. Now here's the white hat separates from the group. Now he goes back. Kentuan Royal comes in for the Sharks. He's going to play safety. And now here comes the referee. Personal foul on Matanzas. Personal foul on Atlantic. Personal foul on Atlantic. That's 2 personal fouls on Atlantic, so these fouls will not offset. So it'll be 1st down and goal from, I guess, half the distance of the goal. So it'll be in about the 4.5-yard line. Or they're going to back up Matanzas 15 yards.
1 personal foul call against Matanzas, 2 personal foul calls against Atlantic.
Personal foul against Matanzas. So there's 2 personal fouls against Matanzas, 2 against Atlantic. So the ball was at the 9. They move 15 yards back. Now they're moving 15 yards back upfield, back to the 9 to assess the personal foul against Atlantic. Then half the distance to the goal, to the 5 for the 2nd personal foul against Atlantic, and the ball will be spotted at the near hash 5-yard line. So after all that, it's 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
3rd down.
It should be 3rd down and goal. They did not reset the down counter from the penalty, so it's 3rd and goal. Evans, direct quarterback keeper, looking for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the day. He's going to be close, and he's going to get in. He got hit hard right at the goal line, but forward progress took him into the end zone. Touchdown, Matanzas.
Touchdown, Matanzas.
The 3rd rushing touchdown of the game for Daquan Evans.
35, Atlantic 8. Point after try coming up.
And all 3 of them have been from within 10 yards. And Landon Grover is on for the extra point. He had one blocked earlier, but his hit on the previous two. It's up. Is good. And your score with 1:28 to go in the fourth quarter. Pirates 36, Sharks 8. We'll take one more break and come back for the final 1:28. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Back at Daytona Stadium for what I can only assume will be the final drive of the game. 1:28 to go. Atlantic Sharks going to get the ball. Down 36-8. Ball taken by Marion, gains at the 10-yard line. Oh, no, here we go again. Up past the 30, up to the 40, jump cut 45, another jump cut 50, and he's going to be dragged out of bounds by Cole Hash, who was the last man. Marion Washington almost had 2 return touchdowns back-to-back. But he was dragged down by the last defender, Cole Hash, after making 2 jump cuts along the near right-hand sideline.
1:15 to go. The Sharks start with the ball on the Matanzas side of the field.
So, for the first time today,
1st and 10 to the 47-yard line.
Atlantic will start in plus territory at the 47. With 1:15 to go, let's just see if the Sharks can put something together here to get in the end zone. And Coach Bell has taken Marion Washington aside and is giving him a pep talk behind the bench. 3 receivers go set out to the left. Empty backfield for for John Killingsworth. Killingsworth high snap, he corrals it. He's got 3 people chasing him down. He's backtracking all the way to his own 45-yard line. He's got to get the pass away. He does. He floats it downfield to Omar Fateau, and Fateau is going to get to the 45-yard line. He's going to be torn down, and a flag comes in after the tackle. Excuse me, that catch was made by Nate Davis. So Nate Davis made the catch after Killingsworth scrambled for about 30 yards in a circle. The line of scrimmage was at the 47 of Matanzas. He threw that ball from about the 40 of Atlantic. And they're going to get a personal foul against Matanzas for a late hit.
Penalty moves the chains. That's good enough for Atlantic Shark. First down.
And a first down for the Sharks. 1 minute, 1 second to go. The penalty stops the clock. The Sharks are going to be at exactly the 30-yard line of Matanzas.
Sharks have the ball, 1st and 10 at the 30. Clock moving at 52
So if they
seconds
move
left.
this ball a yard, this will be the farthest they've gotten into Matanzas territory all night, not counting the 2-point conversion off the return touchdown. Snap to Killingsworth, and a flag down. Now, there was a Matanzas player in the backfield basically before the snap had gotten to Killingsworth. So I think this might be offsides. It will be offsides. So 2 straight penalties for Matanzas. Matanzas has been penalized 14 times tonight, not counting, actually, those are not counting
Offside against the Pirates.
actually 15 times. And Atlantic's been penalized 14 times as I now add up all of the personal fouls that were assessed earlier. Killingsworth in the gun, takes the snap, now the pocket collapses, he has to roll to his right. He's got room to run if he wants it. He's at the 25, he's at the 20, and he's pulled down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. It will be a Sharks first down, 15 seconds to go. Does Coach Bell call a timeout? I think he's calling for one.
Good scramble by Killingsworth.
And
That
Killingsworth-
moves the chains. That's good for an Atlantic Shark. First down.
Killingsworth moves the chains. So it'll be first down and 10 from the Matanzas 19-yard line. 15 seconds to go in the ball game. That was the third and final timeout for the Sharks. Once again, I remind you that next week on Friday night, the 10th, we'll be on the air at 7 p.m. from Flagler Palm Coast High School as the Atlantic Sharks travel to take on the FPC Bulldogs. Once again, that's 7 p.m. on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at MJT Sports Productions. You can listen to the broadcast live right where you're listening to it right now. So join us in 7 days' time for all the Atlantic Sharks football action. This will be the last play of the ball game. 15 seconds to go. No timeouts for Atlantic. Ball spotted at the Matanzas 19-yard line. This is the first trip into the red zone for the Atlantic offense today. Got there twice against NSB last week, but turned the ball over on downs both times. Killingsworth alone in the backfield. 3 receivers spread out to the right this time. Ball spotted left hash. Killingsworth had to face pressure all night. They bring the edge blitz. Killingsworth avoids one in the backfield. Can't avoid the second one. He is torn down for a loss of 6 by Aiden Andrade. And that will end the ball game. The clock hits triple zeros, and Atlantic cannot capitalize on a late rush of offense.
Fans, we want to thank everybody for coming out tonight.
Your final score, Matanzas Pirates 36, Atlantic Sharks 8. And I'll get you a quick recap of all the action that happened tonight. Atlantic's best drive was a 8-play drive that ended abruptly at the Matanzas 30-yard line. This was their first drive of the game. As a handshake line takes place, a hug between Matt Forrest and Coach Bell, as both teams form a long handshake line over the middle. But anyway, the best Atlantic drive of the game was their first, where they ran it out all the way to the 30-yard line of Matanzas before a turnover on downs. They went for a fake punt, and Jonquez Jamerson was 2 yards short of extending the Atlantic drive. The first touchdown was scored on the very next drive as Matanzas went 7 plays, 75 yards, with a rushing touchdown scored by Daquan Evans, the first of what would be his 3 on the night. After a 3-yard punt on Atlantic's next drive, they were spared after a touchdown was called back for a penalty, and a fumble gave the ball back to Atlantic. But Atlantic's field position woes would plague them throughout the night, as starting field positions of their own 4 and their own 3 caused a punt and an end to the half, as Matanzas would start in plus field position 5 times. It was only 7-0 at the end of the half, and you thought it would have been a close game. Then a 30-minute weather delay as it rained and lightened here at the stadium. After that, the game kicked off in earnest, and Matanzas took control. The first drive of the second half for Atlantic started at their own 25, but after a high snap that went over the head of John Killingsworth, they were backed up to their own 2, and the punter, Jonquez Jamerson, stepped out of the end zone on a punt for a safety. The very next drive, Matanzas drove 42 yards and put the ball in the end zone again. Daquan Evans with his second rushing touchdown of the game. Then on Atlantic's next drive, they started at their own 23, but a penalty backed the Sharks up to their own 2 again, and this time the Matanzas rush got to Jamerson. His punt was blocked in the end zone and recovered for an Atlantic touchdown, and just like that, it was 23-0 in the span of about 5 minutes. Then the teams traded turnovers on downs and punts until the fourth quarter, where Matanzas scored 2 more rushing touchdowns. One, a 35-yard drive that ended at a 4-yard scamper by Jordan Mills, and then a 60-yard drive. All runs in the fourth quarter for Matanzas ended in a 9-yard touchdown run, his third of the game for Daquan Evans. The one saving grace for Atlantic was the 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown right at the beginning of the fourth quarter by Marion Washington to put the Sharks on the board for the first time in 2021. So that gets you your final score of Pirates 36, Sharks 8. We thank you for listening to tonight's broadcast of MJT Sports Productions presents Atlantic High School Football. Once again, we'll be back next week, the 10th of September, as the Sharks visit the Flagler Palm Coast Bulldogs. Broadcast on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at MJT Sports Productions starts at 7 p.m. This is Michael Torello signing off from Daytona Stadium, saying have a good night and have a very pleasant good evening. Thank you.